the world stage at a critical time in its development. Her name is Samia Suluhu Hassan, and she is the President of Tanzania. So buckle up. For the next hour, we're going on an exclusive inside the security bubble trip with this sitting head of state, as she shows us her country as only she can.
As a president, I had to start it. So my people could believe that, oh, it's okay if I do it. So I was the first one to be vaccinated, and then others followed.
Ironically, President Samia came to power as a result of an imported disease threatening her country. But it wasn't the first time Tanzania had been invaded.
What makes Tanzania a country of consequence? In your history, it seems that everybody wanted Tanzania.
Yeah.
The Germans, the Omanis, the Portuguese, and most recently the British.
Yeah.
What did they see in Tanzania?
I think the first thing is location of Tanzania geographically, because Tanzania is strategically located. Tanzania is a gate to East Africa, Southern Africa, and to the world. And number two, we have an abundance of natural resources.
But for much of the last 3 centuries, it became clear that the resources that international traders were most interested in were ivory and slaves. By the time she was born in Zanzibar in 1960, slavery had officially been abolished, but the country was still living under colonial minority rule. In 1964, Tanganyika and Zanzibar decided to merge their young nations, as well as their names, and officially became the United Republic of Tanzania. While the country's name had changed, it was a slow road of development. But for the past decade, the economy of Tanzania has been growing at an impressive 6% a year. Billions are being spent on private and public infrastructure projects that can be seen just about everywhere. From Dar es Salaam's skyline to its new highway system and signature suspension bridge. There's a new modern railroad system under construction that will connect the country. A state-of-the-art container, biggest economic drivers in the world, travel and tourism. Which brings me, key question.
So, Madam President, where are you going to take me?
Oh, Peter, so fast.
And while it was first settled by the Portuguese in 1560, the place has a decidedly Arabic feel to it. and for good reason.
For about 2,000 years, the trade winds regularly brought sailing dhows filled with spices, clothes, and ceramics from throughout the Indian Ocean. But it was the Arabs who dominated trade on the East African coast. They called this place the land of the blacks, or Zanzibar, which became Zanzibar.
And it was a fitting name, because the Arab merchants would fill their boats not only with gold and ivory, but also with captured African slaves. And they were doing this 1,000 years before the slave trade even began in the Americas. The Arabs prospered handsomely, and in the 7th century, many of them came to settle permanently in Zanzibar. And out of this ethnic gumbo, a new East African coastal culture emerged, known as Kiswahili, or simply Swahili. And with it came a signature greeting.
Salaam alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Along with a unique blend of architecture.
Look at this wonderful door.
Wow.
You see it?
It's amazing.
So it's a mixture of Arabic and Indian crafting.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yes.
Stone Town has been recognized globally as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's a point of pride for the locals. But I gotta warn you, it can be a confusing labyrinth.
The narrow streets.
Yep. They were never built for cars.
Yeah. Really is an elaborate maze. I never use a map here. I prefer to almost walking around aimlessly. Getting lost here is just part of experience. Hi.
Hi, guys.
This way.
Oh, look at this alley.
But you know, my favorite thing I used to do in Stone Town was just people watching in Joe's Corner, because the history of Zanzibar is literally told through the faces of our many different people here.
And nowhere do you see that more than in the old Arab fort.
So, Peter, do you hear that music? You won't find that anywhere else. It's our version of jazz. We call it tarab. It fuses African, Arabic, and Indian musical influences. And it's always brought all the cultures together here. But my favorite part are the singers with their Swahili love songs.
I soon learned that if you enjoy her music, it's customary here to approach the stage and give them some shillings as a tribute. And when the concert's over and darkness starts to fall, another show takes place. Just outside the fort, in what's known as the Forodani, or People's Garden.
I like to look out at the sea, hear the dhows return home, and watch the lovers stroll arm in arm along the waterfront. Look at the young boys, Peter. They're showing off their bravery by running and jumping and diving off the seawall into the ocean. It reminds me of my childhood.
The next morning, our journey took us through rural villages where life moves at an ancient pace, to where the road ends, at a sleepy fishing village called Kizimkazi. It's a place where some things haven't changed in 1,000 years, where art is made from whatever you can find. The children's playground, a beached fishing boat. And the finish line in their foot race is the first splash in the Indian Ocean. And it is near here where the president was brought up in an even simpler world. Samia was one of 14 children in an extended family, and she lived here. It was a very Spartan existence. And it still is. It's also where her morals and values were shaped.
It's my first mosque. Hard to believe, but it was originally built in 1107. It's where I learned about Islam from my father and my grandfather. It wasn't political doctrine. It wasn't just a way of life, but it taught me about life. Boys, we were all taught on the human rights, the rights of girls, the rights of boys, how boys should respect girls, girls, which rights do they have in the Quran.
And how has it shaped how you're running the country now?
Yeah, it shaped me because I knew my rights. I knew how to be educated, both religiously and academically. I knew how to behave in working places and be respected. So that came in my mind and stayed there, so I grew with it.
Not far away, her primary school.
My father was a head teacher in this school. Hello, students. Hamjambo watoto? Sasa msi mnasimama mnasalimia au? Mimi ningekubali leo nisingekuwa rais. Kwa hiyo msikubali, sawa? Haya.
So what did you just ask?
Yeah, I was just telling a story of a small girl who studied in this school and went ahead and now she's a president. So I was telling them that this is not a simple task. They have to study hard. So you study English here? Who is ready to answer my questions? Just simple one, just simple one. Stand up. Which is your favorable subject? Math. Do you like mathematics?
Oh boy.
That's good.
Okay, I've got one. How many want to be president?
Nani wanataka kuwa marais?
Ah, you got trouble.
Yes.
You got competition here.
Yeah.
But clearly, at this age, there's at least one goal much more important than holding the country's highest elected office. And that's recess. It's just another morning on the red carpet as we get a royal send-off. Our destination? The island of Pemba.
Pemba have nice beaches. It's so natural. It's green and natural. I can say it's a virgin island. There hasn't been much development.
But that's the beauty of it.
Oh, yes. Asanteni sana.
After we touch down, it's Pemba's turn for that receiving line. And soon, we find ourselves on a pristine beach on the north end of the island. The temperature? Absolutely perfect, but the winds are kicking up. Even the local fishermen seem to be sitting this one out until things calm down a bit. But the president is determined to fish, so we board anyway, with enough security detail for 2 presidents. The captain quickly prepared the boat, and we headed out. Joining us on board is the president of Zanzibar, Hussein Mwinyi, and Mariam, the first lady. There are actually 2 governments in Tanzania. The president of Tanzania is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and wields broad federal powers, while the president of Zanzibar is in charge of the affairs here on the island. But today, no politics, just fishing.
So the thing is, you don't catch a lot of fish, but you like to eat a lot of fish.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So now we have to be patient and wait.
Yes.
So how much patience and how much waiting? Turns out that when you're with the president, you actually don't have to wait that long.
Whoa, whoa. What's,
You think you have caught one?
I think I got one. Oh, wait. Whoa.
Let me see.
He doesn't want to play.
Oh.
Whoa.
Mine is too heavy. Peter, would you give me a hand?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is heavy.
It's heavy. It's bigger. The biggest one is mine. The biggest one is for the president. Wahoo, wahoo. Darn it, I caught it.
What is it?
Wahoo.
Wahoo to you.
Back on shore, lunch was waiting. But the president of Zanzibar had something else in mind.
I'm here. I have a surprise for you.
Where's the surprise?
We'll see.
Over there.
Yeah.
You guys coming?
No, it's your surprise.
So we boarded a small launch and headed out towards something floating in the ocean, just a few hundred meters offshore. On the surface, it looks like a small house, but it's actually a special hotel room that sits in the middle of a
It's not a pretty place, but you have to say it. Would you open the door, please?
location on the outskirts of Dar es Salaam. And inside, overwhelming evidence of unspeakable atrocities that have been taking place in this part of the world for centuries. The mass murder of elephants for their ivory tusks.
More than 49,000 tusks in here. And we are continuing confiscating. And you see this huge one. This is huge and heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one big elephant.
Yes, yes.
In fact, this is perhaps the world's largest known collection of raw ivory, most of it confiscated from poachers. In just 5 years from 2009 to 2014, Tanzania lost 85,000 elephants to poaching. A staggering 60% of the country's total elephant population. And in the last decade alone, at least 45 tons of ivory have reached the international black market from Tanzania, making it Africa's largest source of poached ivory.
Would you bring that big one and heavy one for weighing, please? How much does it weigh?
85 kilos. Wow.
85 kilos. And how much is that in pounds?
Almost 200 pounds.
200 pounds.
It's hard to imagine how slaves in chains were able to carry these giant tusks 600 miles from the interior to the coast, and to think this took place for more than 200 years. Many of the slaves died from the ordeal, and those who survived were sold, all part of the inhumane culture of racism and commerce.
So they killed a very large elephant for 2 of these.
Can you imagine?
I don't want to imagine. Really sad.
So sad.
But in the last 6 years, Tanzania has arrested more than 2,300 poachers, leading to a 90% reduction in poaching cases.
Look at this, 2021.
Yeah, it's still going on. We continue confiscating.
Meanwhile, all the ivory sitting idle in this warehouse is now worth in excess of $50 million. But it's not really a tangible asset.
Selling this ivory on the open market would only send a wrong message and likely drive demand higher, thus leading to even more poaching.
So for now, the ivory remains here in this heavily guarded vault, hopefully sending the right message.
Peter, we are in dilemma. You know, we can't sell them. We can't ban them. We are just going to leave them like this to educate the world that these things has to stop. This is elephants' genocide. It really has to stop.
Minutes later, we went from this sobering moment to an uplifting one, literally.
It's a big map. Now you got an idea of how big Tanzania really is.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Kilimanjaro here? Wow.
Yeah.
When traveling with the president, there's always the official entourage, but you can never overestimate the official receiving line or the musical fanfare. The guidebooks will tell you that you don't need any special skills to go where the president is taking me, but we did need to suit up.
Kilimanjaro's just starting. Have a long way to go.
Well, I see the sign. So, where's the mountain?
You see, sometimes she's shy, hiding behind the clouds.
And how high is she?
It's about 19,000 feet.
19,000 feet?
Yes.
How long is it going to take us to get there?
Sometimes 8 days for some people.
8 days?
Yes.
We're going to take 8 days to this?
Come on, Peter. You're with the president. I've got a better idea.
I hope so.
Yeah, this part is nice.
Even by plane, it seems to take us forever to climb up to the so-called roof of Africa.
Cheers, Peter. Pole, pole. Slowly, slowly. We'll get there.
You see it now? No.
No. Up there, we're gonna see it. This level is cloudy. See the other small mountain over here?
Yeah.
You just see the tip of it.
And that's it.
The first mountain peak we're able to see is called Moenza, and it's one of 3 volcanic cones that combine to spew lava and create the larger Mount Kilimanjaro, about 1 million years ago.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The top.
And with that, we finally get our first glimpse of the summit of the legendary Kilimanjaro, the highest point on the entire African continent.
She revealed herself.
She wasn't shy. Oh, wow. I wish I can touch it. Pop.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So close.
Mount Kilimanjaro is considered dormant, but it still means it could possibly erupt again one day.
But don't stress, Peter. It has been about 200,000 years since it has gone off. But you can see the pots here.
Yeah.
The roots up there.
Yep, I can see the
Yeah.
trails, yeah.
Yeah.
Each year, about 35,000 people walk those trails in hopes of reaching that summit.
And only about half of those who are tempted make it to the top. Oh, can you make it, Peter? Climbing up there. Can you make it?
I'm going to sit right here with you. Look at that crater.
Oh, yes.
For centuries, the crater was covered with ice and snow year-round. In fact, the very name Kilimanjaro means Mountain of Whiteness. But since 1936, when Ernest Hemingway wrote The Snows of Kilimanjaro, those snows have been declining. And the glaciers on the mountain seem to be in hasty retreat as well. There is now scientific consensus that Kilimanjaro's glaciers have been rapidly receding for the past century, and that human-induced climate change is largely to blame.
Yeah. It's hard to ignore. I can see the effects of the climate change.
You can't miss it. At least we got a chance to see it now.
Usiku wa leo unaletwa kwenu kwa hisani kubwa ya sponsor, official sponsor wa UEFA Champions League Heineken, lakini vile vile sponsor mwingine ni Pepsi. Lakini naomba pia niwapeni taarifa nzuri, ni kwamba usiku wa leo kuna free wifi kutoka Liquid Telecoms. Kwa hiyo masuala ya bando kukata hapa usiogope. Nenda live unavyotaka. There is free wifi usiku wa leo hapa. Bila
You know, everything's got to be military precision out there. I mean, us getting into the stadium ourselves, everything is military precision. And you do think to yourself, wow, getting 75,000 people into this stadium is going to be a big effort, the way everybody's getting checked. And inevitably, it's going to be people panicking, they're not getting the stadium in time. We don't know what's gone on, but it's so sad to hear that there are troubles outside.
We don't know what's going on, but all you pray for is people's safety. You come to a football match to enjoy yourself, you want to be entertained. You don't ever walk into a stadium and expect any trouble, any dramas, and certainly not to be hurt at all. So hopefully that's down to a minimum.
Yeah, I think that goes for both sets of supporters as well. You know, you hope that the police control it in the right way. The traffic was horrendous on the way, and you've got a lot of people trying to get into the stadium in a short space of time. You just hope there's no issues out there and everyone gets home safely.
Yeah, I mean, it was only a couple of hours ago that Kenny Dalglish was here laying a wreath in honour of the victims of the Heysel disaster. And every time you hear about situations like this at a football ground, you just hope for the safety and security of, you know, the Champions League has changed. The Champions League it's expensive, but it's now a family thing. There's so many children running around out there wearing Liverpool tops, Real Madrid tops. This is a family affair.
And that's what you want. You come to a stadium and you bring your kids, you enjoy it. It's memories that last forever. And the last thing you'd want is a memory like what we're hearing about potentially outside the stadium, where there's going to be tears and there's going to be maybe a bit of pain and hurt. We don't know the extent of it now, but again, you come to a stadium with your kids, you want big moments that happen on that football pitch, not to be remembered outside rather than on there.
Yeah, you want it to be a positive experience. You want to be going home talking about the action on the pitch. You know, you want to go home happy with the outcome of the game. You don't want to be going home, you know, or having to go to the hospital for an unsavoury event. Let's hope that's not going to be the case.
I mean, the biggest thing that we hope is that all the fans outside, despite the reports we're hearing, are safe, secure, are okay. They get their way into the stadium and then the game can kick off. And, you know, we were due to talk about Liverpool's high line and Real Madrid conceding 109 chances since the knockout stages began. But when you suddenly get reports like that and you see distraught fans coming in with their eyes streaming, it suddenly feels trite to be talking about a game of football, doesn't it?
It does, because the build-up was going so well in the stadium. We've not seen any trouble whatsoever. We've been in here for 3 hours before the game, and then as soon as they said there's a 15-minute delay, you think, what for? It looks like the majority of people in here, but then you hear reports of what's happening outside, and as we've said, we've not seen it. We've only heard reports so far, but we just hope that everyone is safe. I know it's a huge operation to get people into the stadium with the right tickets in a safe manner, and it sounds like that's not gone according to plan, so we keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, and we've just been told actually that in about a minute and a half the opening ceremony and Camilla Cabello will be on the pitch doing their thing, and I'd just like to hope that UEFA, if there were real problems out there, UEFA wouldn't be getting the opening ceremony going and the match beginning, so hopefully that is an indicator that things out there have calmed down and fans can make their way in.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, and I think, again, I think the authorities, the police, you'd like to think that people's health and well-being is at the forefront of everybody's mind. Yes, there's entertainment value that's going to be here, but once all that's sorted out outside the stadium, then we can move on to the entertainment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got some pictures coming in from outside, and those pictures are showing us that there are people queuing. They're still queuing to get in, and the queues are big, the queues are long, and you know it's been like this actually, Stephen, for the past couple of days. I mean, Paris has been awash, and it took us a good couple of hours just to drive a few miles to get here today, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's a busy city. A lot of people are, you know.
It's no different at all.
I only got in there first because I knew that you were going to say that. You were going to say that next. So, yeah, hopefully Camilla Cabello very shortly, and then kick off not long after that, and hopefully things have calmed down outside, and then we can start talking about a game of football again, because there still remains a game of football where both sides give up chances, both sides have got amazing strikers, both sides have got incredible history and legacy and passionate fans. It's so perfectly poised. We don't want anything overshadowing what should be a really special night in European football.
No, I don't think no, well, let's hope not. Let's hope there's not anything overshadowing. But in terms of what's going to happen on the pitch, I think it's a mouth-watering final between two huge European teams. I see Liverpool coming out quite quickly. I see them actually scoring quite early, and I think there's a big gulf in class between both teams. Now, I know Madrid have taken some huge scalps this season, but as I mentioned earlier, they've only played well in tiny little parts of those games, and I think Liverpool are good enough to actually, when they're on top, to actually make that pay, score a couple of goals. And I think Liverpool don't want this getting into a bit of a grind in 80 minutes. It's still 0-0 at 80 minutes. The pendulum starts swinging. I think they want to...
It has to be a couple of goals, though. One is not enough against Real Madrid in the 91st minute.
It's not, but I think about this. Both sets of defenders last night going to bed, I think the more comfortable sleep would have been with the Liverpool defenders. I think if you're in the Real Madrid team, the way that they concede chances and the way it can be open at times, here they're coming out.
Sorry to interrupt you, mate. We can see on the big screen in here, they are now coming out to warm up again, so here we go again.
Good. They'll be pleased with that. There's obviously a definitive number that's been said that they're going to be after warming up for to come out. So hopefully we'll get to the kick-off as quick as we can. But just going back to my point about defenders sleeping a bit easier, the Real Madrid defenders that give up a lot of chances throughout the Champions League, throughout the season, domestically as well. And they're up against probably one of the most dynamic and lethal front threes in football at the moment. They could end this game in 6 or 7 minutes, the Liverpool front three, if they get the right chances created for them.
Yeah, I think both teams have got the capability of scoring goals very quickly. I agree with Rio. It might come down to who defends the better. We haven't really touched on much the importance of the bench and the people on the bench. Real Madrid have got some real big options from the bench. So it's going to be such a fascinating time.
Ever been in a situation like this? Well, yeah, we've had some games that have been delayed before, but not often you have it in one of the biggest games of the season. But listen, these are all experienced players, both sets of players. They've been there, seen it, done it. A 15, a 20, a half an hour delay isn't going to put them off.
It's going to be interesting as well if Thiago doesn't start, the difference in the midfield. Because Thiago is the one player who comes into this team, in the Liverpool team, especially this season. He can dictate the pace of the game, and he can control things from in there. And if Keita plays instead of him, yes, it brings a bit more legs, maybe a bit more dynamism, but that experience and that ability to put your foot on the ball and say, no, slow it down, quicken it up when I want, it's a big difference.
Yeah, I think he's in top form, Rio. I think the last 3-4 months he's really announced himself as a Liverpool player. He's like a conductor in there. He's controlling games, the tempo, the speed, the way Liverpool play. He's out there now waving to the crowd. For him to come back out to do a second warm-up must mean good news that he's going to start the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you may have seen, or you can see on the screen just there, kickoff delayed until 9:30. Of course, that is 9:30 Parisian time. So for you in the UK, that's at 8:30. So we think that maybe
in there, he's got the speed. They can recover well, but I think they're going to have to be slightly tighter. They're tighter as a unit and collectively tonight, because I don't think Liverpool will let them get away with it if they defend like they did against Manchester City.
If Liverpool play at the Premier League pace that we're accustomed to seeing them, with that intensity, aggressive behaviour against them when they're retrieving the ball in transitions, being aggressive and direct, they do that consistently throughout this game. Do you think that they can stay with it? I don't think they can.
I think they'll blow this Real Madrid team away. I really do. I think playing at the Bernabeu is a huge thing for Real Madrid. They've not got the home comforts today, and if Liverpool play like they normally do, I think they are a level ahead of Real Madrid at the moment. They're a level ahead of virtually everyone on this planet at the moment. But if they concede goals, and as Stevie says, you can't just keep getting chances. You can't keep getting away with it. Another thing to add to this, Jake, as well, and I'll probably open myself up to a bit of criticism, but two players on show today. Whoever wins this trophy, probably Sadio Mane or Karim Benzema, going to go on to win personal honours as well. If you look at Sadio Mane's season so far, winning the AFCON, winning what would be a treble, or Benzema winning the league and the Champions League, one of these two are probably going to go on to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I agree, but I can't look beyond Benzema, what he's done this season in the knockout stage. He's won the league as well, domestically in Spain, and without him they don't get to this far. I think without Sadio Mane they probably still get this far, Liverpool. I think that's the big difference between the players.
I think 15 goals in the competition this year, I think it is, and that's some return for any player. I think since Ronaldo's gone, he's really come out of the shadow. He's been a fantastic player for over a decade now, and he was when he was supporting Ronaldo, but I think he's getting the credit he deserves now because Ronaldo's gone onto a different challenge.
So who would get your Ballon d'Or vote?
Well, I'm always biased now, trying not to be biased. I think they'll both be worthy winners. I think obviously Sadio's done it at international level as well. In the domestic cups he's done it, so there's an argument for him. But if I see Benzema get it, I would praise him because for that return and the goals against big teams, to knock Chelsea out, City, Paris Saint-Germain, he done that virtually on his own, which is fantastic.
I think that's called sitting on the fence, Stephen.
I'll go Mane then.
I think it's a simple equation, Jake. Whoever wins this game today, the respective player will win it.
I agree.
Okay, right, we're going to take a very quick break. Just a quick reminder, it's now a 9:30 kick-off local time, 8:30 kick-off for you in the UK this evening. So make sure you stay exactly where you are, and we'll continue our build-up to this delayed 2022 Champions League final next.
After the longest hiatus since World War I, the tour heads north over the border for the iconic RBC Canadian Open. Canada is ready to see another star make their mark in history.
Brought to you by SA Rugby and Carling Black Label on Supersport, your world of champions.
Mrs. O, let me help you with those dishes. You deserve some me time. Why don't you catch up on your favorite stories?
You know it's the weekend and I've missed most of them.
You haven't missed anything with Catch Up Plus. Come, let me show you.
Okay. You clean up well.
Oh.
What are you talking about? Aquaba Magic Ebusian.
Everyone wants to be part of this, madam.
Now connecting everyone to local Ghanaian entertainment.
I'm excited.
DSTV Channel 149, Ghana. It's your moment.
The person that came closest went home with the guaranteed jackpot of 50 million naira.
I'm a fine guy.
Emmanuel G, welcome.
It's amazing. Like till now, I still get to pinch myself to know if it was real. That day, I was dumbfounded. I mean, you guys don't even know what you did for me.
Serious?
Like, I was almost crying at that point. I just won 50 million naira. Be wise about how the money will be spent and how the money will be used. But most importantly, I want to go back to school.
It's real. Somebody won 50 million naira. It could be you the next time, right?
Super Picks. Play for free. Win for real.
Welcome back to the ever-delayed 2022 Champions League final, but the main concern for us is that everybody outside the stadium is safe and well, and these are the shots coming into you from the Liverpool end. And as you can see, there are still huge swathes of fans who've not made their way in here yet. I mean, these seats are, that looks about 40-50% empty.
Yeah, in certain areas, Jake, that is certainly the case. There's a lot of people, as we're told, that are outside still trying to get in. We don't know what's gone on outside, so it's very hard, and we're speculating, but it's certainly a spare few seats in this arena, and what we got, still 10 plus minutes till kick-off.
Yeah. Stephen's still denying requests for autographs because we're live on the telly. What do they expect you to do? Listen, thanks for putting us first. Well, look, we spoke about Real Madrid giving up chances. Let's talk about this Liverpool high line, because it's a kind of risk and reward strategy that Jurgen Klopp's happy to play because it, again, gives more rewards than risks, I guess.
Yeah, I think the reason they do it is obviously they want to keep trouble away from their own goal. For example, on restart, they have a really high line, so whoever's competing for it, if it doesn't come off, they're further away from the goal. In general play, it's because they want to keep the distances really tight and really narrow, but they don't get it right all the time, and at times it can cause problems. You see City here, you know, nearly getting in the final. One straight ball over the top of Trent creates another dangerous moment, so they have to get this right tonight, because Real Madrid will cause them big problems.
With the high line, I spoke to Virgil van Dijk a couple of weeks ago about it, and he said, listen, we work on it. This is where Trent will have to be a bit more aware, but that's where Konate, I think that's why he's come in, because of his pace and his mobility and being able to cover for Trent in those areas. But I think when you've got people who can run and move as fast as Virgil and Konate in there, you can afford to stay high, but you've got to be aware of the runners. If there's runners coming from deep, you've just got to open your body up, maybe take a step back at times and be a bit more patient with the way that you press the game.
I'm just looking at the players as well on the show today. I mean, against certain teams, you think to yourself, oh, playing a high line could be risky today. Do you think it's that risky?
No.
Benzema's not the quickest nowadays. Vinicius is probably the only risky player that's going to expose it.
I think they can afford to press it as aggressively, if not more aggressive than they've done in recent weeks, in months in the season, because the only one concerned in behind really is Vinicius. So as long as in the other areas they can push really high, Valverde's going to come inside a bit more and create an extra overload inside. Benzema's going to come to the ball a bit more. Yes, he'll drift behind and between players, but he's not going to get away from any of them centre-backs in there, so you can afford to really squeeze the game. But again, you've got to be ready for Vinicius, who's going to cheat out of that left-hand side, and we've seen it before in previous games.
And a challenge for Liverpool is that if they put too much attention on the fullbacks this evening, that allows space for Luka Modric to do what he does best, damage them.
Yeah, we spoke about the midfield area. It's important that Liverpool get right in the faces and get amongst them. You can't give them time and space. Kroos, Modric and Casemiro, big experience, world-class players. If they get control of any game of football, you know, they could control the outcome of the game. So I think the engine room's a big battle tonight, and it's very important that Liverpool. Modric, for me, he gets described as a connector. He's not just a connector. You can see it. He's a fantastic ball carrier, but at the end of that, he always seems to find the right pass. I know he's getting on a little bit now, but he's still capable of conducting a game and influencing a game at this level.
And he comes up with big moments, as we see here, that pass, sublime pass. He's coming up with them on a regular basis and knockout.
Rio, he's got every tool. He's got the slide pass, he's got the inside of the foot, the outside of the pass, he's got tremendous vision. You know, look at this one here, he doesn't even look, it's just that he knows exactly where he's putting it. It's that relationship with Benzema.
What do you do with someone like him? Do you press, because you say, let's get against him? I'll be saying from the back behind, go on, press him, get against him as a midfielder. What problems? You can really put yourself amongst those massive greats in the game, and that's what's there for him.
Yeah, I mean, this is the stage. You know, Michael done it at away. similar level of stage. And, you know, as a footballer, it's nights like this, it's performances like this, moments within performances that you can be remembered for the rest of your life. These fans are looking for new heroes tonight. They're looking for new moments. You do need a little bit of luck at a stage like this, but this is the night to perform.
You know, gentlemen, you've done sterling work. I make that the best part of a 2.5-hour build-up to this evening's Champions League final. And now I'm pleased to tell you that we can bring you the opening act for tonight's final. Camilla Cabello performing here in Paris. Enjoy.
Said I hated the ocean, but your girlfriend, no. You said I love you for life, but I just sold the house. We were kids at the start, I guess we're grown-ups now. Couldn't ever imagine even having doubts, but not everything works out. No, now I'm out dancing with strangers. You could be casually dating. It's all changing so fast. See, it's not me, that's it. Yeah, that's just life, baby. Yeah, love came around and knocked me down, but I'm back on my feet. I see it's not me, that's it. Yeah, that's just life, baby. Yeah, what's better?
spectacular performance by Camila Cabello. The teams are waiting in the tunnel. First, the UEFA Champions League trophy is to be delivered. The trophy Liverpool and Real Madrid want to get their hands on at the end of the evening. It's been a long wait for both sets of players. Crowd congestion outside the stadium. We've had a delayed kickoff. A wait of more than 35 minutes.
Do estádio de Cidadania Komoja kwa lugha adhimu ya Kiswahili kupitia Super Sports ulimwengu wa bingwa dua kwa Mohamed Salah azungumza nanyi usiku wa leo katika fainali hii hapa Stade de France nchini Ufaransa katika jiji la Paris. Ni Ibrahim Masoud, maestro wenzangu ni Jemedar Saidi mwana wa Kazumari, tayari kabisa kuletea maelezo ya mchezo huu kabambe kabisa wa michuano ya ligi ya mabingwa katika bara la Ulaya. Michuano iliyokuwa na utajiri mkubwa sana. Jemedari, kuna vingi sana ambavyo unaweza kuzungumza kabla ya mchezo wenyewe.
Yaani kweli michuano imekuwa na mvuto mkubwa tangu mwaka 1955 wakati mashindano yanaanzishwa.
Naomba kidogo nikukate kauli. Raul Gonzalez Blanco, mfungaji mabao 77 katika finali, lakini yule mwingine ni Ian Rush, nyota wa zamani wa klabu ya majogoo wa jiji Liverpool, mmoja kati wa wafungaji asilia wahi kutokea katika kabumbu la bara la Ulaya, lakini pia ndani ya klabu ya Liverpool.
Ni magwiji wasiomithirika, ni magwiji ambao popote wanapoonekana wameacha alama kwenye vilabu vyao, wameacha alama kwenye mpira wa Ulaya, wameacha alama kwenye mpira wa dunia. Raul Gonzalez Blanco alifika hatua akawa anaitwa Raul Madrid,
Prince of Madrid.
Na unapomzungumzia Ian Rush, moja kati ya watu ambao walizaliwa kwa ajili ya kufunga. Alipata kazi katika klabu yake ya Liverpool kuwafundisha washambulizi wa klabu hii kwa ajili ya
here, and they prepare to walk past the famous old trophy. We wonder which group of players will get to hold it as Champions League winners later on tonight. The teams have played in 25 finals with 22 wins between them, and this evening they meet each other for the third time in a European Cup or Champions League final. The biggest club game in the world is between two giants of European football. It's Liverpool versus Real Madrid in Paris. Wins for Real Madrid, 6 for Liverpool. Historic and iconic clubs head-to-head tonight. Fantasy football becomes reality here in the Stade de France. So for Liverpool, Thiago, Fabinho and Van Dijk are all fit to start. Thiago's Achilles tendon was the biggest concern, and it might well have flared up again during the warm-up, but he's out there. Jurgen Klopp's been confident that all are going to be okay this week, and the confidence up to now has been backed up. Elsewhere, Ibrahima Konate starts ahead of Joel Matip in defence, and Luis Diaz completes the front three with Salah and Mane. It's a team with plenty of Champions League final experience. 9 of the 11 have won it before. The referee is a Frenchman from Lyon tonight, Clement Turpin, who refereed the Europa League final last season. The last 3 times that Real Madrid have been here, Sergio Ramos has been the captain, but Karim Benzema is the skipper this evening. It's the 3rd final as a captain for Liverpool's Jordan Henderson. The Real Madrid team tonight is the one we expected. David Alaba's fit to play his first game since the first leg of the semi-final at the Etihad. He's alongside Eder Militao in central defence, and Fede Valverde starts on the right. His industry preferred to Rodrigo's explosiveness. The Real bench is rich and talented. It includes Bale, Hazard and Isco. Carvajal, Modric and Benzema are starting their 5th Champions League final. Well, conditions are perfect here in Paris. It's a game that turns players into heroes and villains. Great goals and big moments decide games like this one. And the contrast between Gareth Bale and Loris Karius 4 years ago in Kiev emphasises that. Last year it was Kai Havertz who made all of the headlines, and we wonder who's going to shine the brightest in Paris tonight. Liverpool's qualification was ruthless and relatively straightforward. Real Madrid's a roller coaster of drama and emotion, and now it all comes down to this. So we're underway. It's the 67th final in all, the 30th in the Champions League era, and the Stade de France, the venue for the 3rd time. The first final played in Paris for 16 years. And I'm pleased to report that at kickoff, the Liverpool end, which showed a lot of empty seats, is just about full. So we're hoping that everybody's inside, everybody's safe, and we can concentrate, Steve McManaman, on what should be a fantastic Champions League final.
Yeah, let's hope it's a fantastic Champions League. I know there was some really bad scenes outside, kids getting tear-gassed, families getting tear-gassed, so it's awful, awful scenes, but we can concentrate on the football now. Hope everybody's well, and hope it's going to be a great spectacle played out in front of us.
Here is Thiago, and we'll monitor him closely in the early stages. It seemed to go from one thing to another. First he was in conversation with Jurgen Klopp, and then the Liverpool manager was speaking to Naby Keita. He's a key man, Glenn, in this Liverpool team, and he's out there from the start, Thiago.
Yes, yeah, we saw him having a test before the game, and it wasn't that stringent. But in the end, you've got to go with the player. The player's got to be honest. The physios have got to have their options and their opinions, but you trust the player here, and he's starting the game. He's a vital plug, isn't he, for Liverpool, the way he makes that midfield tick.
That's a load of experience in the final in both teams tonight. Liverpool were here 3 years ago, and a decent proportion of the Real team were part of the 3-in-a-row run under Zinedine Zidane, who's a spectator inside the stadium tonight. Liverpool haven't lost since the last 16 second leg against Inter in March, an unbeaten run of 18 matches, and Real Madrid have lost 4 times during the same period, but bring a tremendous amount of confidence into the final based on how they got here. Liverpool with the first opportunity then from the free kick, and they've got the 2 men over it that always take them. Andy Robertson with the left foot, but it is going to be Alexander-Arnold with the right, and it's away by Benzema, the Real Madrid captain.
That was really interesting, the setup there from Real Madrid. They went right back on the penalty spot, deep. They didn't want that corridor in behind them when they line up on the 18-yard box. For either full-back for Liverpool, they've seen on their videos that they can put those crosses in superbly from set plays. That's interesting that they've changed. They don't do that against normal opposition.
Eder Militao has David Alaba back alongside him tonight. There's a bit of pressure on Thibaut Courtois from Jordan Henderson. How significant is Alaba's involvement for Real Madrid, Steve?
Well, yeah, I think so. As much as Nacho came in and did a wonderful job against Manchester City, Alaba's got that bit of experience, a bit of class. He can play in a number of positions. So it's great to have him back. No excuses tonight. Both teams are fully fit, aren't they? Lovely ball by Trent Alexander-Arnold there.
Searching out Sadio Mane and Eder Militao across defensively for the champions of Spain, Real Madrid. Here's Casemiro and now Valverde. And then Benzema challenged by Virgil van Dijk. That's going to be fascinating, those two tonight. Van Dijk, who's been imperious, and Benzema, who's bagged himself 44 goals during what's been an outstanding individual campaign. Here's Vinicius Junior. Liverpool made sure there, Glenn, they've got plenty of bodies around him, Jordan Henderson and Mo Salah.
Yeah, Mo Salah tracked back, and also there Henderson's job straight away. You could see he was alert to it and made that cover on the inside, and Alexander-Arnold didn't even come face to face with Vinicius.
It's Fabinho and then Henderson.
Haya, unaingiza mpira mrefu sana huku, lakini una mwenyewe, lakini unakwenda kumlinda mlango. Nikisema una mwenyewe sina maana kwamba utakuwa hujaguswa. Ina maana kwamba ilikuwa ni pasi kutoka kwa mchezaji wa Liverpool kwenda kwa mwenzake, lakini imefika moja kwa moja kumlinda mlango wa Piba kuitwa Alaba. Moja kati ya wachezaji ambao hizi kwake fainali ni kitu cha kawaida.
Ni kitu cha kawaida, amecheza sana akiwa na Bayern Munich na akaamua kutoka kwenda kutafuta changamoto nyingine, na bahati nzuri Bayern hawako fainali, pia anacheza fainali.
Bayern hawako fainali na anacheza fainali. The master tactician Carlo Ancelotti akichukua ubingwa huu kama mchezaji, lakini pia kama mwalimu. Moja kati ya walimu ambao unaweza kusema ni old school lakini kazi
inaonekana kiwanjani, na ni moja kati ya walimu ambao wamefanikiwa sana kwenye nchi tofauti tofauti, lakini pia barani Uropa.
Ndio
akiwa mchezaji bonge la kiungo wa AC Milan, akiwa kocha amefanikiwa Chelsea, hapa Real Madrid, AC Milan.
Haya, Vini Junior, nafasi ile sasa pigwa pressure, lakini inabidi ondoke. Wakati mwingine unamuona kama Karim Benzema anacheza kama mchezaji anashuka chini, sema ile deep, pamoja ni kwamba yeye ndio striker.
Anajaribu kudanganya ili kupata nafasi.
Haya, moja kati ya sehemu ambazo unaziona ni nyepesi sana kidogo ni weakness ni kwa Eder Militao, kwa sababu mara nyingi hutoka katika position yake. Ghafla unaweza kumuona tukapanda
na anachukua riski, kwa sababu wakati fulani kama huwezi kuongezeka, hamuwezi namba yenu kuzidi timu inayozuia, na kama huwazidi watu kwenye namba ni ngumu pia kuweza kuwapita.
Haya, control vizuri sasa Robertson. Diaz, Fabinho, Mane, Fabinho, Thiago Alcantara. Sema Thiago, huyu sio Thiago, ito Thiago Alcantara.
Sadio Mane. No foul there by Casemiro, who's in the Madrid midfield to do exactly that, break things up and win the ball back, and now Valverde on the move. Manages to dig out the cross, but Fabinho, such an important player for Liverpool in central midfield in situations like that, was able to clear it. One slight concern is that Sadio Mane had just taken a little bit of time to get himself going at the other end, and he's not moving at all well, the Liverpool number 10. Defending done over there for Real Madrid by Mendy.
Yes, Blaise, he took a real heavy whack, didn't he, on his thigh there, and he's rubbing it. He's not happy with it. See if it settles down.
It's the kind of ball they'll try and play towards Vinicius Junior over there, who's full of pace. Alisson did well for Liverpool. Here's Henderson. Fabinho. Diaz on the left-hand side. Sadio Mane's got the more central role. Dani Carvajal can see that back and out of play.
He had to go earlier, didn't he? Diaz made a really good run, actually. Mane had 2 touches too many. This is the little flick. And Benzema.
Klopp, who has now managed as many games for Liverpool as Kenny Dalglish, and tonight he's trying to win his 7th trophy as the Liverpool manager. Fabinho onto Trent Alexander-Arnold. Salah supported here by Henderson. Midfield area is going to be fascinating, Glenn, isn't it? There's so many experienced players in there.
And talented players as well, Fletch. You know, I think Liverpool will have the possession, but I think you cannot sleep on Modric. Gross, experienced players. The thing is with the Real Madrid 3 in that central 3 midfield players, none of them are going to run past you. None of them are going to break behind the Liverpool defence. So they're always going to play in front of your field.
Salah for Liverpool, and it goes towards Sadio Mane. And the flag up from the assistant to signal the ball had gone out of play for a goal kick to Real Madrid. What you would say tonight, conditions inside the stadium absolutely perfect. First time tonight the same 2 teams have played against each other in 3 separate finals in this competition, so they are making a bit of history of sorts in Paris this evening. Thiago.
Well, a great run as well from Diaz, and you expect Thiago to put that on a plate. That's what he's been doing in the last couple of months for Liverpool, and well, I don't think he's worrying about his injury, but normally that would be right in behind that Real Madrid defence, and Liverpool on the attack. Diaz is making some great runs behind Carvajal.
There's Henderson. If he wins the trophy tonight, Jordan Henderson, he'll join Emlyn Hughes as a man who's lifted the trophy twice as the Liverpool captain. There's a lot of things to do between now and then. Carlo Ancelotti's already made history this season by completing the set of titles in the top 5 European leagues, and this is his 5th final as a manager, which is a new record in the competition. Throw-in given to Liverpool. Dani Carvajal just unable to keep the ball in play. Thiago finding Salah. Good challenge from Alaba, and then the header by Carvajal. In towards Sadio Mane, but Real Madrid have got 2 there, Dani Carvajal and Casemiro. And the last touch, according to the French referee, was a Liverpool touch.
Yeah, Luis Diaz saying it bounced off Dani Carvajal's foot, but referee's giving it.
Canate beating Vinicius. Here's Henderson. Bit of space for Salah.
There's no doubt about it. Liverpool have settled into their rhythm. They've got control of the ball. Just got to play that little ball in behind at some stage of this Real Madrid defence, but they'll be happy with the way they've started this game.
Forward by Dani Carvajal on towards Casemiro and then towards Benzema. And Liverpool, as Glenn says, controlling the early tempo here. Here's Diaz. Thiago. Luis Diaz. Robertson with a chance to cross, which took a deflection on the way through. It's just changed the mind of Courtois. And then Mendy was nice and composed in giving the ball back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, he made a good run, Sadio Mane. You see he gets in front of Eder Militao, but that little deflection just takes it over the heads of the pair of them. Nice and cool by Ferland Mendy.
Carvajal giving the ball away. He's had a bit of a mixed bag in Champions League finals. The Real Madrid right back in terms of winning them, but he's also suffered a couple of injuries in finals as well. This is the man they want on the ball if they can possibly get it tonight, Vinicius Junior, and that's really good defending over there by Konate, who quickly got across to help out Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he's done brilliantly over there.
Wonderful defending. Defends with the front foot, goes with his left foot, takes the ball off him. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then he's aggressive here. There's only one winner here. Gets his body nice and patient. Doesn't make the foul. Look at that. Only one winner there. Just shrugs him off. Comes out with the ball.
That's one of the reasons why he's in the team, isn't it? To help over there. Luis Diaz lost the ball, and Trent was already on the way. So Vinicius Junior did have a little bit of space in front of him, but Konate was across quickly, wasn't he?
Never lost as a Liverpool player. First season at the club, he's been something of a lucky charm, and he's fully deserving of his place in the starting lineup in this game tonight. Jordan Henderson. Alexander-Arnold had to stretch, carrying Benzema, the only Real Madrid player high up the pitch.
You can see Real Madrid, though, they're not taking any chances, are they, early on? They're defensively in a 4, and Fede Valverde gets back, nearly makes it a 5. The midfields are back. So they certainly just want to stay into this game for the first 15-20 minutes.
Henderson deep down the right, supported by Alexander-Arnold, who manages to wriggle away and get the cross in, and Salah with the first attempt tonight. Thibaut Courtois down quickly to save for Real Madrid. Here's Henderson, Salah. Casemiro couldn't get there, but Modric could. Liverpool, though, keep the ball. It's with Luis Diaz, and the block made by Dani Carvajal. Robertson. Thiago looks to place it, and placed it straight into the gloves of Courtois. The first little flurry, though, tonight from Liverpool.
Yeah, that was simple enough. It was saved before from Salah, and he has to get down low to his left. Whether it was going to sneak in here, I don't know whether it's the right angle to see, but he had to get down nice and quick, the big man. Yeah, it would have went in, wouldn't it? Good stop.
A vital early save from Thibaut Courtois, who's the only Real Madrid player to play in every Champions League match for them this season. And his form's been excellent both in La Liga and the Champions League as well. And he proved his worth to the team with that early save from Salah.
He's had a really good season, Thibaut Courtois. Won a couple of personal awards.
Diaz to take on Carvajal. Thiago. Robertson. In he goes towards Mane. He can play it on to Salah, who hits it straight at Courtois, but it's nice again from Liverpool.
Very good from Liverpool. They got that little bit of injection of pace with the ball and runners off the ball, and just look threatening in around that 18-yard box. Real Madrid, yes, they don't want to concede, but they've got to have some possession. It's a red tide that keeps coming at them.
The point you'd make, though, Steve, about this Real Madrid team is they've got a remarkable ability to stay in games like this, and we've seen it all the way through their qualification campaign.
Yeah, as the boys were saying, Liverpool need to have this tempo, they need to score again, and they effectively need to blow them away, don't they? Because you can't give them an opportunity to stay in the game like this.
Off goes Valverde with an early ball in towards Vinicius. Alexander-Arnold there to tidy things up. They got Benzema forward as well. And now that just allows a bit of space for Robertson to bring Liverpool the other way. Sadio Mane. Fabinho. Thiago onto Robertson. Here's Diaz. Thiago finds his captain, who lifts it on here towards Mane. On Mo Salah. And Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool nice and patient. Salah. Alexander-Arnold. Well, with his ability to strike the football like he does, you could be forgiven for expecting him to hit the target from there.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but you're right. If it's ever going to fall to someone, it's a player like Trent, isn't it, who can get over. There's the shot from Salah previously, right at Courtois again. But Liverpool just building the pressure now.
Sharp little 1-2s, isn't it, that's catching Real Madrid out. The little 1-2s, they're not going with runners, and they're just standing across that 18-yard box. You just get a feeling that you feel in this next 5 minutes, Liverpool need to score and stay concentrated.
Well, one thing that's worth keeping an eye on tonight as well is the playing surface. They only finished laying a brand new pitch on Thursday. They started on Tuesday due to the fact that they weren't supposed to be having the Champions League final this season. It's meant that they've laid the pitch very, very late for a match like this, Glenn, which I suppose could be a concern. Jurgen Klopp certainly spoke about it in the build-up and said that it wasn't ideal when they trained on it yesterday.
Yeah, it looks okay. From here it looks all right, and at the moment it's not cutting up. We've got a nice evening. It's not like it's raining hard. I think new pitches will suffer if there's a lot of rain down on it, but it looks good from here. There's no one slipping.
There's Thiago, who's moving perfectly fine out there, despite the concerns about him in the warm-up. It's a nice ball through to Sadio Mane. Makes some space and hits the shot, hits the post, and Courtois gets there. Super save onto the post from Courtois.
I think he saved it, Fletch. I think you're right. Cuts inside, great feet from him, smashes it low. I think he gets a fingertip onto it, onto the post, and then he's up quick. This will be a better angle. Oh, yeah, it's a great save.
He gets a good hand on it.
Great save,
doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Good hand on it.
All the pressure coming from Liverpool. That's a fine save by Thibaut Courtois in this final. Alisson's come a mile there, and it was Konate winning the header with his goalkeeper stood behind him. Alexander-Arnold into Sadio Mane. Desperate times early on here defensively for Real. Casemiro does what he always does, finds a way to get fouled, just to break up the play and just to take the sting out of what was coming Real Madrid's way.
It's Florentino, King of Spain, Felipe. Famous people everywhere in this game, isn't there? So Rafa's here for the Rafa Nadal and Roland Garros, which is only around the corner as well. There's a lot going on in Paris.
Zinedine Zidane, Clarence Seedorf, Ronaldinho, hottest ticket in town. Liverpool's mentality monsters against Real Madrid's comeback kings. And it's Liverpool, Glenn, who have made the better start by quite a margin here. Thibaut Courtois is the man that's prevented them from scoring.
Yeah, it's an ideal start for Liverpool, but Courtois is going to, it looks like he's going to have one of them nights. They've got to remain patient, Liverpool, but stay concentrated, because on the break, this Real Madrid side is so dangerous.
Great position here for Diaz. Really good play there by Casemiro. There's Toni Kroos, Dani Carvajal, and now back to Kroos, the German international, challenged quickly by Mane. They're a yard quicker, Liverpool, Steve.
Yeah, we expected that. Which can Real Madrid stay in the game? Thibaut Courtois making sure of that at the moment. But we always thought Liverpool would be sharper and quicker and make more chances. It's whether they can score and then score again. The phrase blowing them away, that's what's been mentioned numerous times, haven't they?
Liverpool have had 6 attempts on target in the opening 22.5 minutes. 4 of them have tested Thibaut Courtois in some way, shape or form. And they've had the lion's share of possession as well. It's been really difficult for the Spanish champions to get past the halfway line and put any pressure on Liverpool up to now. Here's Mendy. Kroos.
Liverpool have been good at that, making Madrid go backwards and eventually making them kick the ball.
Robertson getting the better of Carvajal, and then Fabinho onto Alexander-Arnold. Here's Robertson, and now Thiago. Then it goes to Salah. David Alaba denying the ball through to Sadio Mane. Valverde picks up the pieces, fortunate to find Casemiro. Kroos now onto Benzema. Vinicius Junior. Dani Carvajal's the furthest forward down this side because Valverde's got into the centre. Modric thought about playing the ball through to Benzema, but instead goes to Carvajal.
I think that's what Real Madrid need to do. Modric hasn't had the ball. They need to get him on the ball. He'll look forward. No one, they're looking square and backwards first. But he's been nullified by Liverpool's midfield at the moment.
So Mendy, Liverpool doubling up at least on Vinicius on that side. That's not a bad ball in though, which is taken by Alisson. First time they've tried to pick Benzema out in the middle.
He makes a good run actually, Benzema, very clever. You see, there's about 3 or 4 yards between him and Virgil van Dijk, but it was just faded into Alisson.
That's a sort of run that if Modric is on the ball, he'll pick him out.
There's Andy Robertson. Thiago Alcantara, now Virgil van Dijk. Fabinho into Mane. Diaz. It's good defended by Carvajal. It's a Real Madrid ball. Both teams in the first half defending the end where their supporters are, and that drew a big cheer from the supporters in white behind Thibaut Courtois' goal. I think if you're Carlo Ancelotti though, Glenn, you've got towards 26 minutes and you haven't conceded a goal, and Liverpool have been having opportunities.
Yeah, he'll be happy. That's the way they've set out to play. They're going to hit Liverpool on the break.
Jordan Henderson looking to lift one in. Ferland Mendy was there for Madrid, then Canate for Liverpool. Toni Kroos. Modric flicks one out impudently to Mendy, the left back. Carvajal's found a bit of space down this side, and Modric tries to find him. That's good defending initially by Robertson. Real Madrid at the start of his career, didn't play much for them. He was one of the players in the last couple of weeks of the season who was a concern for Jurgen Klopp. It was a hamstring for Fabinho, a knee issue for Van Dijk, and of course the Achilles for Thiago. All of them out there from the start, though, in the Champions League final, as predicted by the manager. Good header by Kanata, won well by Mane. Salah to take on Mendy. Here's Henderson, Fabinho. Thiago plays the ball out towards Alexander-Arnold, well forward here from right back. Henderson with the first time ball and into the arms of Thibaut Courtois.
It was the right type of ball, wasn't it? Just didn't execute it properly. Whipping it in from the angle.
Keeps it in, Casemiro helps it on, but only gives it back to Liverpool, although Kanate couldn't keep it. Swept on now towards Vinicius. It's a challenge that Trent Alexander-Arnold had to win, and a ball that he had to intercept for Liverpool.
Well, he got there in the end, but he was obviously on the outside, and if the ball had been correct and weighted correctly, I think Vinicius was in, but Alexander-Arnold just got there, didn't he? Vital.
Seem happy to keep the ball in situations like this, Steve, don't they, Real Madrid, rather than trying to test Liverpool's defence a great deal.
Yeah, they're not taking many chances at all, are they? Haven't played the ball forward a lot, just gone sideways, and eventually backwards.
They have been a team throughout this Champions League run this season that change when they make substitutions in the second half. When they bring on the likes of Camavinga and Rodrigo, Glad, it does make them a different team in terms of the dynamic of it.
They've got more energy in the last 20 minutes. They're a dangerous side then. I mean, these are the experienced players out there at the moment, particularly in the midfield with Cruz and Modric, but they keep giving that ball away. They're not at their best, Real Madrid. This is a spell where Liverpool have got to dictate and get a goal.
Benzema's got Vinicius ahead of him. There aren't too many more in white up there. Vinicius made a decent run, but Van Dijk had read it well, as you'd expect him to in a situation like that.
What I would say about going back to your substitution shout, they've got to fit again Eden Hazard on the bench, who's played in the last few games. Made cameo appearances for Real Madrid at the end of the season, and he looks fit well. He looked sharp the other day in training. If he can get back to anything like the form he had at Chelsea, I mean, he could be brilliant off the bench as well. So lots of choices there on both sides of the benches.
You wonder whether that's going to be the game plan for Carlo Ancelotti tonight, to try and keep it tight until the second half, and then hope that the substitutions can pay off the way they have done in various games during the run to the final. Liverpool have had the better of it so far, though, in the first half, at 12.5 minutes to play until half-time. Luis Diaz challenged by Dani Carvajal. It breaks here for Sadio Mane, and it's going to come back now for the challenge on the Liverpool player, Luis Diaz. French referee seeing if there was an advantage, but didn't find one.
Carvajal just comes through the back there, but Liverpool have done well. They've forced Real Madrid to play balls long, but not only has the ball gone long, they've got onto the second ball. They've always won possession from the header.
Space in central midfield here for Fabinho. Goes Konate, it's a lovely run. The kind of thing we see Matip do from that central defensive position for Liverpool. Whipped in, Salah's header, straight at Courtois. And we've said that a few times in the first half, straight at Courtois.
Yeah, frees a pair, he just walks off Militao. But perfectly placed. Couldn't have put it any better into Thibaut Courtois' hands.
Coming on Courtois from Mane, but he's able to get the ball out towards Mendy, gets it onto Vinicius. There's Toni Kroos.
Look at them, attempts, target.
Significantly though, Steve, still 0-0.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I don't think Real Madrid will be too worried about that. At the moment, they've done it in the past in this knockout scenario. They've done it to every club so far, and that's when they're at the most threatening in many ways, when they're looking to counter. And Vinicius hasn't tracked back hardly once, has he? Just keeps staying out on that left-hand side, trying to get the ball out to him as quick as they can.
Liverpool bidding for a treble tonight for the first time since 2001, where they won both domestic cups and the UEFA Cup. For all of Real Madrid's success, if they win tonight, it'll complete a double of La Liga and the European Cup or Champions League, which is the fourth time in club history. They've not tended to tie those two trophies together very often, which might surprise you. There's Karim Benzema. Vinicius Junior to take on Konate, good defended by Henderson. It's a corner for Real Madrid, the first time they've threatened in there for a while.
Yeah, he's very cute, Vinicius Junior, nutmegs Konate, Henderson's back. Quick one, quick corner.
Cross whipped in by Benzema. Header comes in from Thiago, and then Alisson nice and smart to get a hold of the ball for Liverpool, and he wants to get it forward quickly because he'd spotted Luis Diaz in space. Real Madrid are going to concede the free kick here for the challenge by Carvajal.
Yeah, he was always going to create that foul. When anybody breaks, the term of falta, it means foul him, and that's what was going to happen. He wasn't going to let him get away with it. Bring him down, avoid a yellow card, but that's his last chance, I think.
It was a lovely pass from Alisson. The volley was beautifully weighted, but yeah, he was always going to bring him down because they were on the counter, weren't they, Liverpool?
Goes square here to Henderson. Van Dijk and Konate are in there. It's aimed now towards Robertson coming in. Diaz for Liverpool. Now Thiago. And all the way back then to Alisson. You wouldn't say the free kick worked particularly well, would you?
It wasn't a great free kick at all, was there? The big men went forwards, and in the end they weren't defensively in the shape.
They went quite deep again, Macro, with it from wide free kicks. Ancelotti did that for Everton. When he was at Everton, he has them going in there deep and shutting down that space where you actually want to whip it round the back of you. So, not sure Liverpool quite know what to do with it.
Darkness has descended on the Stade de France here in Paris. It's been a lovely, warm day. Pitch is holding up well. Liverpool in this first half have done everything bar score. Konate's given it away though to Vinicius. Benzema challenged over there by Alexander-Arnold. Benzema back to Toni Kroos. Here's Carvajal. to fizz one in. I think the target was actually Casemiro, who was behind Valverde. It seemed to come at him at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Excellent run by Diaz, good defending though by Carvajal. Still retains his speed and the composure to play the ball back to his goalkeeper.
Now, it's brilliant defending, but also you see Valverde as well. He's made up 60 yards to get back and help him, and something they've obviously spoken about, and Diaz gets the ball.
I must say, Glenn, Konate started off fantastically alongside Van Dijk.
He's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's aggressive going for his headers, he's aggressive in the tackle, and the use of the ball. That chance for Salah's head a minute ago was all the creation from Konate. Brilliant tonight so far.
It's Fabinho. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Henderson trying to return the ball to Fabinho. Liverpool able to keep it. Now Salah. Fabinho's gone into the box to join Mane. Don't forget, we've got Fight Night live on Saturday, the 11th of June. It starts at 7 o'clock and it includes Trevor Bryan against Daniel Dubois, and UFC 275 on Saturday, the 11th of June as well. And it goes from Robertson to Mane. And a good defending by Militao. It's going to be a corner to Liverpool. Militao, not sure whether he's unhappy with Mane or just celebrating the challenge, but Liverpool are going to get the corner and Robertson has the chance to put a good ball in.
They were pinned in deep, weren't they? Real Madrid defence got pinned in at the 6-yard box, and they'll pay the price if they have to defend that deep.
This is an opportunity now, isn't it? Konate, we've seen him score goals in this competition, particularly against Benfica. Virgil's there.
Both of them with 3 each this season. Robertson sends it in, Benzema heads it away. Henderson hits it with power, a lot of power, but wide of the Real Madrid goal.
Doesn't half catch hold of it, doesn't he? Straight as a die. It's wide though.
Lovely technique, actually. Kept it down, didn't he? Got the power behind it. This is where I think they're playing into Liverpool's hands here. They're having to go long, and they're stretched. Look how stretched every white shirt. 20, 30 yards from each other. And if Liverpool actually win that second ball like they had been, then they can get it down and play quick.
Real Madrid in this first half have been reliant on trying to get the ball in down their left-hand side towards Vinicius Junior. Ibrahima Konate, up to now, snuffed out the danger every time when Alexander-Arnold pushes on. It's been such a good season for Liverpool. They've lost one of their last 34 games in all competitions, and their 46 wins so far is a new club record. They could play 63 matches when the season started, and this is game number 63 tonight, which equals the tally of the last team to win a treble for them back in 2001. Just on the subject of that 1981 final that Liverpool won in Paris, brings back memories of the late great Ray Clemence and Ray Kennedy, two players who contributed so much that night, who have been in the thoughts of the Liverpool players who played with them in the build-up to this game, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's two great men played the part in this history of this great football club.
David Alaba. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Vinicius Junior to Ferland Mendy. Played on now towards Karim Benzema, who's got in behind them, and he takes it down brilliantly. Benzema still. Alisson didn't get there. In comes Valverde. Benzema! Then the flag goes up. The Real Madrid celebrations come to an end, and Liverpool feel a great sense of relief.
I don't know whether it's the first pass. Benzema was in acres of space here. Well, that was very tight, wasn't it? So let's see if it's another. He actually loses it a little bit, Benzema there, and then it's just pandemonium. bounces to him, yeah. I think there's only Andy Robertson behind him. I think he's behind Alisson Becker, isn't he? So he will be offside. This is all okay. You see Alisson starts going out, and I think Benzema gets stuck inside there, and there's only Robertson behind. He needs two. So we'll have a look at it anyway. That's here when it falls some.
Last ball went off.
Yeah, well, that's what they're going to have to look at.
That's going to be a difficult one.
Yeah. It's a conversation there between the two Frenchmen, both of them from Lyon, by the way, as well. So they're from a familiar part of the world to each other.
Let's have a look. Virgil steps out, it's this one there, and it's who it comes off.
Yeah, he's offside in an offside position
there, yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one because I think it comes off.
We just have to see if it comes off a Liverpool player. That's all it is. If it comes off a Real Madrid player, it's no goal. If it's off a Liverpool player, it's a goal.
Well, Jérôme Brissard is the VAR tonight. He's got 3 VAR assistants as well. Let's bring in Peter Walton. Peter, they've got to work this one out.
Well, indeed they have. They've got 2 ones here. First of all, the initial ball going through for Benzema, was he onside? That will be checked. And then, as we've been speaking about, when he scores a goal, is he in offside position? And as you quite rightly say, if it's been played by the Real Madrid forward, then he's offside. If it's played by a Liverpool defender, then he's played onside. And don't forget, a deflection is not a deliberate play. So if it's deflected by a Liverpool defender, then he's offside still.
Thank you, Peter. How long it's taking, Glenn, indicates how tricky it is for the VAR.
Well, it is, yeah. And it's a wonderful pass, isn't it? A wonderful run from Benzema, and you think he's missed his chance. And, oh, dear me, it's a mess up, isn't it, defensively from Liverpool. Lovely little touch there. He comes back in, and you think the danger's gone here. There, you think they've got it covered. Oh, my word, work that one out, guys. Is that a deflection off Fabinho's knee, or is it been played? That's a tough one. As the ball comes back here, this is the key here. This is the key moment right about here. Comes off Alisson's knee.
Comes off Canate, then off Fabinho's knee, doesn't it?
Yeah. But that's got to be deemed as unintentional.
Yeah. Accidental, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are taking the time. There's lots to look at, I know. We're only getting the same pictures as you. It's different than in the Premier League.
Karim Benzema is the man under the spotlight as the goal check continues. It's his 142nd game in the Champions League tonight, which breaks his tie with Ryan Giggs and puts him level with Raul in 5th place. If the goal does stand, he'll go 3rd all-time on the competitions list, and there haven't been too many, Steve, in the competition this season that have taken this long to work out.
This is incredible, isn't it?
Well, this is incredible. My personal opinion, if it takes
offside, he's offside.
This long, you can't give the goal.
So Clement Turpin's decision is backed up by Jérôme Brissard, and the Real Madrid goal is ruled out.
Yeah, it's ruled out. I think that's what it was. There we go.
Benzema trying to get in again, and Alisson just able to make the challenge. It's a little flurry by Real Madrid right at the end of a half where Liverpool have had the better chances, and it's just a reminder that when you've got a player like Benzema on the pitch, you're always in a game like this and you are going to generate opportunities for him.
It just, the movement was sensational, and he's done it time and time again in this Champions League, and they've got purveyors of the ball to put that ball in, and that's what you've got to watch against this team, Vinicius and Benzema. Other than that, at the moment, they're finding it hard to get through Liverpool. Strange thing to say, but it's a good half-time for Liverpool. They've dictated a lot of this game, but it's a good time to get down that tunnel at the moment.
He takes up really difficult positions, doesn't he, Benzema, at times?
Well, don't forget, tomorrow we've got Solihull Moors against Chesterfield. That's in the Vanarama National League playoffs from midday, and the promotion final is next Sunday, 2 o'clock, and you can see that on 1HD and Ultimate. Intercepted there by Toni Kroos, and now there might be an opportunity down that side for Vinicius if Benzema can play it. Important header there from Fabinho. Away by Robertson. Casemiro. Vinicius Junior to run at Trent Alexander-Arnold. He didn't give him any space down that side. It's a fair challenge according to the referee. Worked out well there for Liverpool. Given away though now to Kroos. Intercepted by Konate. And there's half-time. Well, Liverpool had the early chances, but Karim Benzema is the man with the scowl on his face at half-time. His goal ruled out for offside after a very lengthy VAR check. Before that, there have been chances for both Mo Salah and for Sadio Mane. And on both occasions, Thibaut Courtois was in fine form. 0-0 at half-time then in the Champions League final.
All right, kipindi cha kwanza kimeisha. Real Madrid versus Liverpool ndani ya Paris. Was that an offside? VAR imeongea. As we wait for the second half, na wasubiri kipindi cha pili, we've got DJ Josie on the 1 and 2. Lakini vile vile naomba kutambua timu nzima ya KMC iko hapa Darajani.
You know who I am. I'm not an actor. How am I gonna do another one of these commercials with big words and dramatic pauses? I don't use words, I use my feet.
Get up on that drip like it be cold. What the hustle don't matter. I'm on that never way, money stretch like
that feeling, that's spanking.
Ladies and gentlemen, mabibi na mabwana, karibuni sana Darajani. Ni usiku ambao tunashuhudia finali za UEFA Champions League kati ya Real Madrid na Liverpool. Lakini tukumbuke kwamba ligi hii, UEFA Champions League, sponsor wake mkuu ni Heineken. Na usiku huu wa leo tuko naye Fatma Mnaro ambaye ni country manager wa Heineken Tanzania. Karibu sana.
Asante. Habari za jioni mabibi na babwana. Ndugu rasmi, Mheshimiwa Mohamed Chengera, Waziri wa Sanaa, Michezo na Utamaduni, ndugu Naibu Waziri Sanaa, Michezo na Utamaduni, Mkuu wa Mkoa, wakuu wa wilaya yote, Katibu Mkuu, Naibu Katibu Mkuu, wakurugenzi wa idara mbalimbali chini ya Wizara ya Sanaa, Michezo na Utamaduni, wageni waalikwa, mabibi na mabwana, itifaki imezingatiwa. Heineken Tanzania, kwa kutambua umuhimu wa kuendeleza sanaa, utamaduni na michezo, tumeamua kuunga mkono juhudi za rais wetu Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan kwa kusaidia kufadhili ubunifu wa vijana wa Tanzania katika maeneo mbalimbali. Na kwa leo tumeanza maonyesho ya filamu ya Royal Tour kwa aina ya tofauti juu ya daraja la Tanzanite, ili iwe chachu ya ubunifu kwa vijana wote wa Kitanzania. Vijana tuna jukumu la kuja na mbinu tofauti za ubunifu katika kubrand nchi yetu na kuiweka iwe ni ya kwanza kwenye tourism, kama tourism attraction kwa Afrika. Tuna vivutio vingi sana na vya kipekee ambavyo havipatikani pengine kokote duniani. Tumepartner na TIB katika Royal Tour Challenge. Hizi ni jitihada tu za kupromote tourism ndani ya nchi, nje na nchi ya Tanzania. Tutaendelea kushirikiana na serikali pamoja na makampuni na idara binafsi kuweza kuitangaza nchi yetu katika platform za kitaifa na kimataifa, kuboresha sanaa, michezo na utamaduni wa nchi yetu. Heineken inahamasisha wengine pia tujumuike na serikali ya rais wetu mpenzi kupitia idara tofauti kuhakikisha tumeipamba na kuitangaza nchi yetu katika utalii, sanaa na michezo. Nashukuru sana kwa ujio wenu wote. Inatia moyo sana tunavyoona umati wa watu wa umri, jinsia tofauti kutoka idara za serikali na private sectors tumejumuika pamoja kwa ajili ya utalii, michezo, sanaa na utamaduni. Sote pamoja tumejumuika kuitangaza nchi yetu. Karibuni sana. Ningependa kumkaribisha Mheshimiwa Aweso ambaye ni waziri wa maji pande hapa kuweza kusalimia.
Asante sana country manager kutoka Heineken Tanzania. Naomba kuchukua heshima hii kumkaribisha Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Maji Naam, nimepewa taarifa ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Maji Juma Aweso anakuja hapa mbele na Waziri wa Utamaduni, Sanaa na Michezo Mheshimiwa Mchengerwa. Karibuni sana waheshimiwa.
Ndugu zangu, mabibi na mabwana, naomba niwasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Mimi sina maneno mengi sana ya kusema. Kwanza niwashukuru sana Henken kwa jambo hili kubwa na zuri ambalo mmeliandaa. Hongereni sana na Mungu awabariki sana. Sisi tumefarijika. Leo binafsi nimekuwa bored kwa kufungwa kule Kirumba, lakini kwa jambo hili mlolifanya Henken, mmenifanya nitoke nyumbani na mimi niweze kujiungana na nyinyi. Mmenipa furaha kubwa sana, hongereni sana. Lakini kubwa ni jambo la ubunifu, lakini pia kusupport jitihada za Mheshimiwa Rais wetu Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan. Hili ni jambo kubwa, ni jambo la kuigwa, na sisi kama sehemu ya viongozi tutaendelea kuwapa ushirikiano mkubwa sana Henken. Siishie tu katika eneo la habari, na sisi hata katika wizara yetu ya maji tupo tayari kushirikiana na nyinyi katika kuhakikisha tunamuunga mkono Rais wetu Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan. Mwisho niwapongeze sana Wizara ya Habari, Sanaa na Michezo na Utamaduni chini ya Waziri kaka yangu Mchengerwa, Katibu Mkuu pamoja na Naibu Katibu Mkuu pamoja na Naibu Waziri. Kwa kweli mnaupiga mwingi sana. Hongereni sana sana sana. Tunaona wizara ilivyokuwa vibrant kwa kazi kubwa ambayo mnaifanya. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki sana.
Habari za jioni ndugu zangu. Kwa niaba ya serikali, kwa niaba ya wizara, nichukue fursa hii kwanza kumshukuru sana Rais wetu Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan, kwa sababu yeye ndiyo amesababisha tukio hili kutokea. Tunampongeza sana, na sisi kama wizara lazima tukiri na tuwape salamu wa Tanzania wote kwamba tutajitahidi kwa heshima kubwa aliyotupa Mheshimiwa Rais kusimamia na kumshauri katika wizara hii. Tutajitahidi kuendelea kuwa wabunifu. Tutajitahidi kufanya kazi usiku na mchana ili kuhakikisha kwamba wizara hii ni wizara ya wananchi. Hii ni wizara inayomgusa kila mwananchi, kila Mtanzania. Wizara hii inamgusa. Kwa hiyo tutajitahidi kuhakikisha kwamba tunakuwa wabunifu. Mimi na wenzangu ambao tunasaidiana katika wizara hii tutafanya kila lahali kukesha usiku na mchana kuongeza ubunifu, kwa sababu wizara hii ni wizara yenye kuleta furaha na faraja kwa Watanzania. Hili ni moja ya matukio makubwa ambayo pengine wizara yetu itakwenda kuyafanya hapa nchini, na tunawashukuru na kuwapongeza Henken kwa kuendelea kutoa nguvu kubwa kushirikiana na serikali katika kufanya onyesho la filamu yetu ya Royal Tour. Na sisi tumekwisha fanya mazungumzo na wenzetu wa Henken, na siku chache zijazo pengine tutawaomba waridhie basi tuweze kuonyesha filamu ya Royal Tour pengine pale Mnazi Mmoja, ili Watanzania waje wengi wajionee Royal Tour, namna ambavyo Tanzania ina vivutio vingi sana hapa kwetu, na namna ambavyo rais wetu Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan anatamani kuona Watanzania tunafikiwa hapa kwetu na mataifa mbalimbali yanafika hapa kwetu. Kwa hiyo tuendelee kumpongeza Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kazi kubwa na kazi nzuri sana anayoendelea kuifanya ya kuiunganisha Tanzania, na kazi kubwa anayoendelea kuifanya kuwapa furaha na faraja wa Tanzania. Hatutakuwa na wakati mzuri kama taifa kama sasa, ambapo kiwango cha furaha, kiwango cha demokrasia, kiwango cha maelewano, kiwango cha umoja na amani kimeongezeka na kimekuwa kikubwa sana chini ya utawala au chini ya uongozi wa rais wetu Samia Suluhu Hassan. Na sisi kama Wizara ya Utamaduni, Sanaa na Michezo, wizara hii ndiyo nguvu shawishi ya serikali. Tutaendelea kuwashika, tutaendelea kuwa katika mioyo yenu wa Tanzania, ili tulete furaha na faraja nyakati zote Nawashukuru sana, asanteni sana, na tunawashukuru sana Henken kwa kazi kubwa na kazi nzuri hii. Endeleeni kushikamana na serikali, endeleeni kushirikiana na rais wetu Samia Suluhu Hassan katika kuleta furaha na faraja, kwa sababu hii ni wizara ya furaha na faraja hapa nchini. Nawashukuru sana, asanteni sana.
Makofi tafadhali kwa Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Utamaduni, Sanaa na Michezo pamoja na Mheshimiwa Waziri wa Maji. Na asante sana, na makofi pia kwa Heineken Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, mabibi na mabwana, bado tupo half time. Hebu tupate burudani kidogo tukisubiri kipindi cha pili. Tuone nani ataondoka kidedea, ataibuka kidedea baada ya dakika 90 kufika. Au tunaenda kwenye penalties. Tutajua hapo baadaye. But for now, without further ado, put your hands up for the one and only DJ Josie.
Everybody hands go up. DJ Khaled. Hey, can you feel it? Let's lock him up. Just blaze. No, turn me up. Hey, I think we got one. Here we go. Tell me, what do you see when you're looking at me? I'm missing the beat, what I'm destined to be. I've been through the pain and the sorrow, the struggle is nothing but love. I'm a soldier, a rider, again, a survivor, and all the above. All the above, 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 all the above. Yeah, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I'm so excited, it's already weekend.
All right, turudi kwenye game. Kipindi cha pili kinaendelea. Hala Madrid, you'll never walk alone. Good luck to the best team.
At some stage of the second half, often to change a game, whether that's the case tonight if it stays 0-0, but it's worked for them well. It's been a pattern and a system that's got them this far.
Well, very much so, and I think he won't be bothered if they don't concede in the next 10-15 minutes. He'll be happy with that. They know they can't outplay Liverpool. Liverpool are going to have possession of the ball. They're going to press them, but you're right, Fletch, and they changed the definition of their team. It's an energy, becomes an energy team with a lot of pace, and suddenly you're up against something completely different.
Liverpool, the last team to beat Real Madrid in a Champions League or European Cup final, which was in Paris back in 1981. They've been imperious in finals, the Spaniards, since then. We'll see what that little flurry at the end of the first half has done for Madrid confidence in terms of them as an attacking team. Here's Benzema, now Valverde, and then back to Eder Militao. What do you think, Steve? Well, that little push at the end of the half by Real when they had the goal disallowed give them a bit more confidence to do a bit more attacking-wise in this half?
You think it would do, and it actually should do, shouldn't it? Because in the first 40 minutes they were disappointing. Didn't really get up the field, didn't have any composure, and they burst into life.
Alexander-Arnold sends a dangerous ball in towards Luis Diaz. It's great defending by Dani Carvajal.
Decent defending by Dani Carvajal. I don't know whether he was onside. I think he just was, but he gets his body across Dani Carvajal to put him off.
Casemiro then on to the ever-energetic Fede Valverde. And now Vinicius Junior. Liverpool get the numbers across. Henderson and Konate heading in that direction as well, and it was Konate who made the interception. Alexander-Arnold can play the ball away then towards Sadio Mane. Here's Thiago, who's had no issues out there despite the concern in the warm-up. He's been moving freely throughout. And he's been on the ball a lot for Liverpool in central midfield. Here's a man that Real Madrid would like to get on the ball a lot more, Modric, in this second half. Vinicius back to Benzema. Here's Toni Kroos, Ferland Mendy, Casemiro. Defended over there by Diaz, but Carvajal's well forward.
Looking down on the pitch as well. They've got 3 substitutions warming up. 3 substitutes, sorry, Madrid. And it is Rodrigo, it is Camavinga, and Dani Ceballos as well. He's at Arsenal, as everybody knows, on loan. They're the 3 down there warming up.
It's tended to be a pattern to the players they've come on for as well. It's often been Rodrigo for Valverde and then Camavinga for Toni Kroos. So let's see whether it works that way. Again, Liverpool have got the substitutes warming up as well. Roberto Firmino is one of them, Diogo Jota too. Mo Salah trying to make the run through the middle, and Mendy was back there for Real Madrid. Mane beaten to it by Casemiro. Wins it back though for Liverpool.
Yeah, good strength.
It's a good tackle as well for Real Madrid by Militao, and then Modric there just a fraction ahead of Henderson. There's Casemiro. Doesn't often get that far forward, although he has got a Champions League final goal to his name, what he got in Cardiff. He's got the free kick there for Real Madrid.
Yeah, you see what Trent thought. He was almost falling over Casemiro there. He was already stuttering, and he just tries to get his body across to initiate any sort of contact.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is the youngest player to play in 3 Champions League finals by the age of 23. The man he was in direct competition with there is playing his 4th Champions League final tonight for Real Madrid. Kroos out to Vinicius Junior, right in front of Carlo Ancelotti. Casemiro. Modric. Forward by David Alaba, but through to Alisson. 50th appearance in the Champions League for Liverpool's goalkeeper tonight, and for their captain, Jordan Henderson. Good header by Militao. Mane challenged there by Kroos.
It's been a strange start to this second half. The ball's been handed over. Loss of possession so many times.
Courtois should have been controlled by Mendy. Had plenty of time to do it. Carvajal quickly on the scene to put the pressure on Luis Diaz. Fabinho then back to Virgil van Dijk. Konate's played with so much confidence and assurance out there this evening.
He's very cool, isn't he, on the ball? Such a high-octane game.
Here's Mo Salah. Teasing one in, which was well read by Courtois. Quickly wants to get Real Madrid moving forward here through Modric and then Benzema. Casemiro. Valverde on the run against Robertson. Two players who won't get tired no matter how long this game goes on for. Valverde's done well. Benzema. Carvajal put himself under pressure. Diaz has tracked him back over there. Thiago was able to get a challenge in as well. Liverpool in the end work it nicely, win it back well, get things under control at the back.
Fabulous play from Diaz there, tracking back. Clever with his little back heel and gets out, and he's now, look, he's high up the pitch. Thiago again just didn't quite hit the pass that he was looking for. A couple of times he's been just out of range. He's normally spot on with those passes.
Casemiro challenging Fabinho. Two Brazilians tend to play alongside each other for the national team in direct competition this evening. Nice ball by Van Dijk to Mane, which has Liverpool on the move, and he in turn plays it on to Luis Diaz. Plenty of white shirts back here for Real. Diaz up against Modric. It's Sadio Mane. It's a really good block by Militao. Alexander-Arnold, and an equally effective block by Casemiro. Here's Henderson. Thiago. Mane onto Alexander-Arnold. They've got a lot back here, Real Madrid now. Thiago looking to switch it out towards Liverpool's right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now Jordan Henderson. Alexander-Arnold's cross. Courtois gets a piece of it. Modric does as well. And then Robertson playing it back in, and there's time for Mendy to see it behind.
Fizzed in, wasn't it? I think it was Thiago that goes across the near post. It is Thiago there. Look, just if he gets any sort of touch on that, he scores. Fizzed across there from Alexander-Arnold, and again Courtois does his job.
He's done nothing wrong so far tonight, has he, Steve? Thibaut Courtois.
He's been very assured, hasn't he? Very, really good game, very, really good season.
Diaz battling over there. And the free kick's gone against Liverpool. Like you said there, Militao has gone down. It's the landing more than the challenge.
Down in front for Liverpool supporters, and they telling them they think there's nothing wrong there. There's nothing wrong. He falls on the ball and he falls over him. It's very theatrical, wasn't it, by Militao? It's Carlo and Davide.
Spoke to both of them in the build-up to the match. Is he a chip off the old block, Davide?
Well, he wants to be a manager, that's what he did say. He's learning from one of the best, isn't he now? Sat alongside his father, he's taken his requisite coaching badges. Still hasn't acquired them all yet, but he will do.
What a man to learn from. Great noise inside the stadium. Clarence Seedorf alongside Fabio Cannavaro. It's like a who's who, isn't it, inside the ground tonight. Eder Militao back on his feet. You wonder what his future is going to look like at Real Madrid with Antonio Rudiger arriving at the club for next season. Carlo Ancelotti, regardless of circumstance, always seems to have everything under control.
Cool as you like.
Headed away by Casemiro. Offside flag was up against Real Madrid, so it's brought back here for a free kick to Liverpool. Canate with a nice ball into Henderson. Good play in midfield though by Casemiro, and then by Mendy. Salah plays it down to Fabinho. Mane. Henderson. Salah to Alexander-Arnold, who plays it back into Salah, who gets a couple of goes at it. The Liverpool players are screaming for a handball. Mo Salah in particular, who was closest to it. The French referee uninterested in the appeals.
He has two, doesn't he? He has two blocks. There is the ball does hit the arm, doesn't it, of Alaba, and you can understand why Salah's claiming it, but not a penalty for me, no way.
No penalty at all, is he? Smashed it from a couple of yards away.
You've got to say, Real Madrid actually this second half have got some important blocks in. 2 or 3 real vital blocks when they've been right in on goals, Liverpool.
Dani Carvajal, Casemiro, Luka Modric. Carvajal finds Casemiro, into Valverde. Quite an effective passage of play that from Real Madrid. Valverde then drives it in, and they go ahead. Vinicius Junior. The Stade de France erupts with white delight, and Vinicius Junior fires Real Madrid in front in the Champions League final.
But they just started to play, didn't they, Real Madrid? They got some possession in that midfield area, and they started to build a little bit, and they end up smashing the ball across the box. Look, just some nice little passes, bit of movement, runners off the ball. Vinicius on this far side. Is he onside? He's just onside. I think it's Alexander that just plays him on by a toe, really. He's not opened his body once there, the fullback. Look, he's got to have a little glance, got to have a look where his winger is, and Vinicius stays over the top of the ball. Makes sure that he covers it. And they've gone 1-0 up. Wow, against the run of play in many ways.
And it is incredibly close, and they will have a look at it. What you would say is that he finishes it really well, doesn't he, Glenn? That could easily have skied over the bar. It could have gone anywhere. It keeps his eye on it, keeps his body over it. Sticks it in the back of the net.
Well, it's his 22nd goal of what's been an outstanding season because he makes so many for Karim Benzema as well. He only scored 6 the whole of last season, including 2 in the Champions League against Liverpool. But he's been such an important player on the run to the final. It's the first chance he's had all night, and he arrived on the spot to deliver. And Liverpool, who have been the better team and had the better chances, find themselves behind in the final here. And now it's down to them, Glenn, to respond.
Well, it certainly is, but I think Real Madrid actually have come out this second half with a lot of confidence. They've started to pass the ball through the pitch. First half, they were going too long, but it's now up to Liverpool to keep their heads. They've got so much time on the clock. They've got to do what Real Madrid have done to a lot of teams this season.
Well, one thing you would say, Steve, it's a rare situation that they find themselves in, being ahead in a game like this in the Champions League this season. They've often been the team that's had to come from behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Their leaders, how are they going to play? Are they going to start being a little bit defensive-minded? Are they going to keep on piling forwards?
It's the Real Madrid flags that are waving around the Stade de France. The expression of Ancelotti hasn't changed, despite the fact his team have the lead. And now Liverpool need to start turning these promising positions into goals in this final.
And there's still lots of time. You don't need to panic. Just get back on the ball, get composed, start playing through the pitch again like they did in the first half, where they made their best chances.
Here's Van Dijk. Diaz challenged by Dani Carvajal, and in all fairness tonight, the right back Dani Carvajal has played Luis Diaz really well over there. Yeah, Fabinho's going to get the first card of the night, the yellow card.
Just a bit of frustration. Fabinho felt as if he was fouled by Vinicius Junior prior. But he's been excellent, hasn't he? Fede Valverde shows good pace, wants to run forward. With the assist for the goal.
Concern on the face of the Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp, who might well be assessing his options. He's got players who can change the game on the bench tonight, the likes of Roberto Firmino, Diogo Jota. They've both been out for a warm-up in this second half as well. Intercepted there by Van Dijk. Diaz to Mane, Toni Kroos in there to win it back for the Spaniards, and now Modric. Fede Valverde. Tell you what, Glenn, I never really thought I'd say this about a Real Madrid team. They might not be the most impressive or the most stylish or the most fluent, but they're certainly the grittiest team in the Champions League this season. The way they can stick in matches, and then when the chance comes, they're able to take it. They've been brilliant at it all the way through.
Yeah, and that foundation has come from their goalkeeper's performance. He's made some great saves, not only in this game, but he keeps them alive, he keeps them in the game, and they have that belief. They've got the experience, and they've got that little bit of X factor at the top there with Benzema and Vinicius. But it's now up to Liverpool. For me, I think I'd like to see Mane go up that left-hand side and maybe Jota down the middle and see if Mane can come in from there.
Opens up a little bit for Mo Salah, who bends the shot, and Courtois saves another one. Typical position that Salah likes to generate and find himself in, and this time he's denied by Courtois.
Yeah, nice effort. Easy enough for Courtois. He's a big goalkeeper, isn't he? You see, gets across quite easy, almost punches it away. The bottom of his fist.
Well, Diogo Jota is stripped and ready for Liverpool. So a striker about to be sent on by Jurgen Klopp, with his team trailing 1-0 in this Champions League final. 26 minutes to play in the Stade de France, and Liverpool have got to find themselves a goal. Fabinho. Salah's got 2, Vinicius and Mendy, and he's won the free kick.
Yeah, on Vinicius, wasn't it? Vinicius just leaves his foot in there, clever by Salah. He's missed that one. Catches Salah's left foot. It is a foul. Good position.
And they're going to make the change at this point as well. Diogo Jota for Luis Diaz, Glenn.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I'm interested to see. I would like to see Mane go out on that left-hand side and come in from there and make his arrival into the box. He's not so efficient tonight down the central. He's coming back towards his own goal with his back to play too many times. Let's see if Jota goes down the middle and he just shifts Mane out there. That could be a really good move for Liverpool. They're having a little chat now. He's gone over to him, just telling him where he wants him to go, and we'll have to wait until the free kick's taken and we're in free play to see whether Mane slides out on that left-hand side.
He needs a goal. He hasn't scored in his last 12 matches, so tonight would be a good time to end the run for Diogo Jota. Free kick delivered in by Robertson. It's so often been a Real Madrid head defending it in situations like that tonight. Here's Sadio Mane. It's not a bad ball in either. It's headed away well by Militao. He seems to celebrate every clearance he makes at the moment, Militao. And this time they need the goalkeeper, Courtois.
Yeah, Liverpool's delivery from set pieces, the corner in the first half, and even that free kick wasn't great, was it? The big men have gone up, and it's nowhere near reached them. This is the Salah shot, easy enough for Courtois.
Yeah, that ball that was played in Macca was a bit hesitant. When the pressure's on, you know, Robertson just guides it in there. He's got to whip it in there with no fear.
Real Madrid are keeping the ball much better in the second half. The three in midfield, Modric, Kroos and Casemiro, have been a lot more effective, popping it around in there and making it difficult for Liverpool. Here's Salah. That's a foul on Toni Kroos by the Liverpool man.
Yeah, it was. It was a foul. Just grabs Toni Kroos.
He did well, Kroos, didn't he? Just ate up his ground in front of him. Got in front of him, yeah.
It's not unfamiliar, Glenn, is it, to see the three in midfield for Real doing this in a Champions League final? They've been in so many before.
He's one of the best. One of the best, Claude Makelele, alongside Eric Abidal.
Valverde wins the header. Robertson wins the second one. Off goes Diogo Jota. Over goes Eder Militao. It's a corner. Militao is trying to get the free kick, but the French referee gives the decision Liverpool's way.
Yeah, let's have a better corner here.
It's going to be the outswinger from Robertson from that side. He was talking to Michael Owen in the build-up to the match. That's the way that they like to do it. They prefer outswinging corners. That's what it's going to be. The left foot from the left-hand side. It's another Real Madrid header. It's Dani Carvajal this time. Here's Jota. Over went Casemiro. Liverpool get another opportunity.
Yeah, has to miss the first man.
Or at least get somebody running across the front. If it is under hit, you might get the flick on from there. But and Courtois' position's interesting. He's come right out to his 6-yard box already.
Another outswinger from Robertson, deeper this time. Canate was jumping, Fabinho challenging, and away by David Alaba for Real Madrid.
Always knows he's going to get the foul.
There's 18 minutes to go. Carlo Ancelotti continues to stroll up and down without a care in the world. And his team lead this Champions League final through the goal from Vinicius Junior after 59 minutes. Alisson there for Liverpool. Got to say, Steve, that the teams they've got past to get this far, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea and Manchester City, if they beat Liverpool in the final as well, there can't have been any better runs than that to a Champions League success than we've seen from Real Madrid this season.
I totally agree. They've definitely done it the hard way. Even going back to Inter Milan, who were they were the Italian champions, wasn't it? They did it the hard way.
Still plenty of time, though, for a Liverpool team who score goals. It's a final that's had late goals in it. Alan Kennedy back in '81 and Gareth Bale scored a late one when they met 4 years ago. And Liverpool are going to send on Naby Keita, so he's going to be the second change. He's just getting stripped down below us in the Liverpool dugout, so another change on the way. Excellent tackle by Mendy. Sadio Mane to Jordan Henderson. Modric just had to be careful in there with the Liverpool striker running in. There's Andy Robertson. That's a nice turnover there by Diogo Jota. Casemiro just able to nick it away.
He's had a great second half, hasn't he, Casemiro?
There's Henderson, Alexander-Arnold through the legs of Mendy, but cleared away by the man you were just talking about, Casemiro. Alexander-Arnold with space and time, and he drills one in, and it just needed a touch. It was Jota trying to reach it, and had he done so, he might well have diverted it past Courtois.
I don't know whether he gets a little touch on it. Yeah, I think he does. He just can't divert it. You're right, too much power on it.
But there you're expecting Alexander to actually hit the target from there. He set it lovely as well.
Naby Keita's ready. Don't forget to join us for Fight Night Live on Saturday the 11th of June. Trevor Bryan against Daniel Dubois is part of that. On the same night, UFC 275, and you can see that on 1HD. It's going to be a Real Madrid ball. Moving towards the final 15 minutes of normal time in this Champions League final. That's a foul on Toni Kroos by Sadio Mane. Liverpool have got to dig deep here, Steve.
Yes, they do.
It's going to be a double change. It's going to be Roberto Firmino and Naby Keita, which is no real surprise in the circumstances.
Oh, it'll just be which forward's going to come off. That's what it'll be if that is the case.
Should have had all the substitutes warming up in this second half. At the moment, it's Marco Asensio and Nacho down there. But Marcelo's had a warm-up. Kroos with the free kick. In towards Casemiro, who didn't go for goal. He tried to square it when he was in behind the Liverpool defence.
Yeah, he should have went for goal, wasn't he? Benzema was way offside. Whether he was onside or offside, we'll have to have a look at it, but he should have just volleyed it at the goal, shouldn't he? Should have been fairly simple for him.
That's the problem. When we see that again, I think he's offside here, Vinicius. When we see that again, Benzema goes 10 yards in offside position.
Yeah.
If it goes over the back of the defence and then it's laid back across, if Casemiro does play him in, he's then deemed on back onside.
There we go. Late run from Casemiro.
He makes a pig's ear of it, doesn't he? Comes off his heel. Comes off the back of his
when you
heel.
When you see it again, he could have just laid it into the path of Vinicius.
Yeah.
So Naby Keita coming on for Jordan Henderson.
Thiago as well.
Yeah, Thiago replaced by Roberto Firmino. So he's gone with another forward.
He's got 4 forwards in there. Naby Keita and Fabinho will have to sit and defend.
Roberto Firmino on, a man who started the finals in 2018 and 2019, a man with 98 goals for Liverpool. The last 2 he scored for them were in the quarter-finals against Benfica. So he's a man who has delivered when it matters on a stage like this. And Liverpool have got 13 minutes to find a goal from somewhere. Otherwise, it's going to be number 14 in the Champions League for Real Madrid. Firmino involved for the first time since coming on. Harassed by Alaba. Gets it back again from the other substitute, Keita. It's a Good, strong defensive challenge by Alaba, but it worked its way here to Mane. And then Alexander-Arnold, who's in and squares it when he might have gone for goal himself. Yeah. And Real Madrid get the bodies in the way again.
There was a great block by Militao, and that's a dive by Vinicius.
And Fabinho wants the yellow card. He's just waved and gesticulated towards the referee for that.
I think he's got a right to as well in many ways.
Here's Firmino, and now Jota. And away by Mendy. Been so good at that tonight, Real Madrid, finding a player in the right place defensively when they've needed one. Firmino hits it. This time, the block made by Dani Carvajal.
All game, Fletch, they've just defended a little bit deeper than they normally would. I think it's because they're playing Liverpool and the offensive power they've got up there, Liverpool, but just back in their own box quite a lot. Look, and their bodies in there.
And off goes Jota, works his way to Firmino, and this time it's Alaba.
He's put it offside, flag up the assistant. But again, brilliant by Alaba. Firmino trying to find Sadio Mane, just was offside there. And Militao down yet again.
The referee thinks there's nothing wrong with him, and the way he's jumped back to his feet, I think he might be right.
Yeah, well, he's been excellent, the referee. There's Ronnie.
One of the great number 9s in world football, the great Ronaldo. So Liverpool team, Steve, has scored 147 goals this season, which does give their supporters hope that in the final 10 minutes or so they can find one, but they've got to break down this very, very stubborn Real Madrid defensive performance tonight. Maybe Mo Salah's the man who can do it. Roberto Firmino. Salah coming onto it, deflected, and Courtois gets it round the post with Diogo Jota charging it.
Yeah, good reflexes again.
Van Dijk in for the corner. Konate's got in there to join him. Outswinger again, this time from the right, so Alexander-Arnold out to take it for Liverpool. He goes for the flat one, and it was Benzema who was able to block it. Excellent again from Dani Carvajal. Liverpool ball. Well, I'm not sure why he stopped them taking it, the referee. I don't understand that at all. Jurgen Klopp was the first to voice his disapproval down there.
Well, he wants to do it quickly. There was nothing wrong with it. The linesman put the flag up. It was a Liverpool ball. It was a quick throw, and I don't know why the referee brought it back.
Less than 10 minutes to go. It's the Real Madrid supporters you can hear, and it's Vinicius Junior's goal at the moment that's going to win them the Champions League. Here's Roberto Firmino pulling it back from a good position. Naby Keita, that's a glorious opportunity. He had so much time.
Could have done anything, could have stopped it, could have controlled himself. But he's just hit it with the outside of his right foot and never got anywhere near. What was he thinking?
I think he was trying to hit it with the outside of his foot, but it's come off his instep and gone off his toe, and he knows he's, oh dear, what an opportunity there. Nobody around him, no pressure on him as well. He's got to at least hit the target there and keep calm. I think he panicked.
The final instructions down below us are being given to Eduardo Camavinga, who's going to have a part to play in the Champions League final. This very impressive teenager who hasn't been a starter in the Champions League this season, but he's more than played his part in helping Real Madrid to get here tonight. Lovely touch by Salah. Still going, Salah! Courtois again!
What a save!
Fantastic save! And the celebrations and the congratulations from his teammates tell you just how important that is.
I mean, that was brilliant by Salah. Touch, control, smash, and Courtois, like he did late on against Man City, pulled off another brilliant save.
It's been a wonder show by the Real Madrid goalkeeper for 82.5 minutes. In goes the corner, headed away by Valverde. Naby Keita. Firmino. Salah. Kanate stayed forward. Salah gets it back again, but the challenge was made successfully by Alaba. Now they've got men over Real Madrid, and the man is Karim Benzema, and he's got Vinicius supporting him, and Alisson comes out and gets there. And it was almost the perfect counter-attack from the Spaniards. Now there's space going the other way for Salah. The Champions League final reaching boiling point in Paris.
It's like a basketball game now.
Carvajal gets his body in the way just in front of Mo Salah and gets it back to the man who has to be the man of the match if Real Madrid win it, Thibaut Courtois.
Oh yeah, that last save was a beaut, wasn't it? This one here, look at this, touch by Salah, another little drag, generates the power with his right foot. Exceptional save from the keeper, strong right arm, just hits him above.
His positional play, positional play is fabulous. It has been all night. He's been in the right position, because you're not entitled from that distance to make that save. You know, it's normally gone by you if you're in the wrong position.
Took him a time to settle, didn't it, at Madrid when he joined them from Chelsea, but the way he's performed tonight has been outstanding.
And I said early on, I spoke to him on Tuesday, he's had an exceptional year. Lovely ball by Modric.
To Vinicius Junior. Camavinga's ready down below us. Time running out for Liverpool. 6 minutes of normal time to go. Here's Benzema.
It's like Rodrigo's going to come on as well. He's strict.
This is what they do at some stage of the second half in the Champions League. Tonight, though, it's going to be for Valverde, Camavinga.
Looks as if he's got a bit of cramp, Freddie Valverde. It's not like him normally.
Played his part though, Steve. It was his driven cross that led to the Vinicius Junior goal.
Yeah, he has certainly played his part.
Carlo Ancelotti's considering sending Rodrigo on at the same time here because he's stripped and ready. I think they expected him to be coming on at this point, Rodrigo, but I think he's going to wait. So on comes Eduardo Camavinga, 19 years of age. He's pretty much changed the game in the last 3 rounds of the competition, Glenn, when he's come off the bench.
Well, it's a different scenario for him because they're normally chasing the game. Now he's got to sit in that midfield and keep the ball and make sure that he gets disciplined in his play just to see the game out.
Karim Benzema. Robertson there ahead of Luka Modric, and now Diogo Jota. It's a good tackle by Dani Carvajal. Modric. Carvajal back to Camavinga. Here's Mendy. Dani Ceballos is also ready. In the meantime, here's Vinicius Junior. Skips away from Alexander-Arnold. Back heels it to Karim Benzema. Alexander-Arnold shuts the door importantly for Liverpool. Little flick by Jota. Sadio Mane. Red shirt streaming forward. Liverpool have 4 up in the attack. Mane running at Carvajal. Intercepted in there by Casemiro. Who's been unpassable in this second half. He's been everywhere defensively.
Intercepted by Casemiro. I think we've said that about 50 times in the second half. It's offside as well.
Well, he wants to put the flag up. He's thinking about it. Now he has. And he was offside.
He was offside. The funny thing is, he shouldn't have been offside. He should have just arced his run a little bit more. Brilliant bite. Trent Alexander-Arnold there. Benzema just trying to chip inside him.
So much space out there now. So many tired players after this long, arduous season. The fresh legs of Camavinga win the day against Mane. Liverpool corner.
That's good play from Mane. Goes on the outside. Either gets in or he gains the corner. Now, the set plays have been poor tonight from Liverpool. They decided the first time tonight they've gone for an in-swing. Let's see if it changes anything.
2.5 minutes for Liverpool to find a goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold out to take the corner. In towards Kanate. He's held everything, Courtois.
Take under pressure, isn't it? He's deemed to be fouled, but he's had the ball in his hands by the time he was fouled. But he'll slow this game down now. Take his time.
Dani Ceballos is ready. Carlo Ancelotti just behind him. If he wins tonight, Ancelotti is going to have 4 wins in the competition, the European Cup and the Champions League as a coach. He's going to pass Zinedine Zidane and Bob Paisley to top the all-time list. He hasn't won it for 8 years, Carlo Ancelotti, but he's led Real Madrid on this miracle journey in so many ways, a magic carpet ride of so many ups and downs, but they've had all the determination when they've needed it. They've had a bit of a charmed life in the competition too, but they find themselves, Steve, a minute or so plus stoppage time away from winning another one.
Yeah. There's Raul, he knows how to win. Manager of Real Madrid, Castilla, their second team.
Well, this is the end of the night for Luka Modric, and it breaks the sequence because he played in 4 Champions League finals before tonight. He played every minute of all 4, but he's taken off here. Still has all the skill and all the class at the age of 36, and he's still the man that ultimately makes this Real Madrid team tick.
He hasn't been on the ball as much as he'd wanted individually, but he's done a job for his team. There's no doubt about that tonight. Played with his head.
And he could have got his 5th Champions League this evening.
Camavinga's header. Here's Robertson. Naby Keita. Final few seconds of normal time. Time running out for Liverpool. There's going to be 5 minutes added on. Smashed away for Real Madrid by Casemiro. Toni Kroos to Karim Benzema. Ceballos, I think, is onside. He's got players up there with him. He plays it back. And in the end, Liverpool able to get it out, and the flag never went up. It might have taken a look at VAR, but he was onside there, Ceballos.
Yeah, he makes a good run, Ceballos, from deep, and Liverpool try and push up again. Just messes it up when he gets into the penalty area. It is a corner for Real Madrid, and they're going to take their time.
You mentioned players tonight winning 5 Champions Leagues, and you mentioned Modric, Benzema, Marcelo, and Carvajal are going to join him. This team that's stayed together, the core of it for so long, and been so impressive. And Gareth Bale, who's on the bench, is going to get another one too, Steve.
He'll get another one, yeah. Final game, final match as a Real Madrid player, we believe.
Casemiro. Close to Ceballos, and then on to Benzema. Camavinga. The final Real Madrid change, we think, tonight, unless they go to extra time. I don't think Carlo Ancelotti will try and sneak any more in. It's going to be the goal scorer who's going to make way. Vinicius Junior, whose name will be up in lights in Madrid if they win it. And he's going to be replaced by Rodrigo, whose goals in the semi-final in particular against Manchester City are the reason why they're here.
Oh, absolutely. His goal against Chelsea from the Modric pass, which got them back into the game, and the 2 against Manchester City.
Well, don't forget to join us tomorrow, by the way, midday, Vanarama National League playoff at Solihull Moors, Chesterfield, and then the promotion final next Sunday from 2 o'clock. Liverpool trying desperately to find a goal. Swung in by Alexander-Arnold. Up goes Dani Carvajal. Halfway through added time.
Jota battling, Ceballos battling equally as hard. Camavinga there too. Liverpool keep the ball. Headed away by Eder Militao. Nice play, isn't it? Camavinga nice and calm. Toni Kroos picks up the ball. Liverpool concede the foul. Think back to the first half, Glenn, and the chances Liverpool had, but that dominant period where they couldn't make it count.
But they've never regained that rhythm of their play, have they? And dictated the play like they did in that first 35 minutes or so. You've got to give credit to Real Madrid. They've come out in the second half. I think Ancelotti said, look, you're better than what you're showing. Pass the ball. Give it to each other, even if you're marked. In second half, they've passed the ball really well, and they've defended stoutly as well.
Rafa Nadal looking nice and calm, but he's a Real Madrid fan through and through.
Yes, he is.
Nerves for Marcelo.
Yeah, I think it could be his last time as a Real Madrid player as well.
Well, you wonder what the future's going to hold for Sadio Mane after tonight as well, from a Liverpool perspective, based on what he said in the build-up to the final. You wonder whether the fact that Real Madrid, if they do win it, will bring the Ballon d'Or for Karim Benzema as well.
I think he will, now if they win it.
They're so near, the Real Madrid players, but yet it probably feels so far away. There's still a minute to navigate. Liverpool need to generate one final chance. Naby Keita, Fabinho, Van Dijk's playing centre forward at the moment. It goes in towards him, and Courtois, who saved everything, held everything, clutches the ball for Real Madrid.
Amazing how they've gone so deep. Any cross that was coming in tonight, they've defended it. Their starting position has been deeper than I've seen any team do it, and they've done it well. And anything behind them, it's just going to come out and get. And it's been brilliant tonight. He's had that security.
Liverpool have to get it forward. And they will get one last opportunity from this free kick.
Oh, they won't.
No, they won't. Full-time whistle. Real Madrid are the European champions for the 14th time, and Liverpool's treble dreams are ended here in Paris. But the team that's defied the odds so many times to get here tonight has found the magic once again in the Champions League. They were written off against Paris Saint-Germain, on the way out against Chelsea.
No matter what, everybody hands go west. All of my dreams. And they say yeah. Okay, that's not Real Madrid. 'Cause all I do is win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air. All I do is win. No matter what, everybody hands go west. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. 'Cause all I do is win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air.
All right, wakati tunashangilia. Congratulations to Real Madrid. Hongereni sana na wa Ulaya UEFA Champions 2022. Angalizo tu. Patakuwepo na baruti, fireworks, kwa hiyo mkisikia sauti msishtuke sana. Angalizo tu. Congratulations to Real Madrid. Hongereni sana, mabingwa Ulaya 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, mabibi na mabwana, huyo ni DJ K3. Lakini we've got an amazing band wanaitwa Galila. experience
down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for
Let's
what?
go.
Turn down for what? 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 Turn down, turn down, turn down, turn
Whoa. Shout out to Real Madrid. Oh yeah. Wapi kelele Real Madrid!
Ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Naam, naomba kuchukua nafasi hii kuwaita hapa mbele Team Real Madrid ya hapa Tanzania Dar. Kuna kombe ambalo nakabidhiwa mwenyekiti Raymond pamoja na watu wanne wawakilishi wa Real Madrid hapa Tanzania. Kwa heshima na taadhima, naomba nimwombe Mheshimiwa Waziri Real Madrid, hala! Champions wa Ulaya 2022, Real Madrid.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the party tonight? So Real Madrid, let me see your hands up. Kama una jezi, kama una chochote cheupe, we wave side to side. From the left to the right, from the left to the right. Prepare bendera Real Madrid!
Sanaa na michezo anawakabidhi Team Real Madrid Tanzania mfanano wa kombe la UEFA Champions of 2022. Hala Madrid!
Pull him up, pull him up, pull him up, pull him up! Let's go, come on! Real Madrid, let me see your hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up.
Call me. They are very rich. All from the days like a play some boy I play. Me and the girls
now. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Real Madrid. Come on. It's about time. We put this place on fire right now. Come on. Say. Come on. One hand in the air right now. Pull him up, pull him up, pull him up, pull him up. Let's go. Come on. That's it. Let's go. Hey. Let's go! Put him up! Hey! Come on! Everybody sing along with us! We are the Love TZ! So allow me. Make I enjoy life. Cause problem not the finish show. Every day is different for problem not the finish show. Hey! I just wanna battle your day. Say what? Say what? I just wanna battle your day. Come on! Pretty girl, come wind up your body. Then goes one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Wind up your body. Then goes one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it. I know we have some beautiful ladies in the building tonight. Come on, any fan of Real Madrid, let me see your lighters up. Wash a lighter, wash a lighter. Come on, any fan of Real Madrid, let me see your lighters up. Tonight to the land. Let me see your lighters. Come on. Hey. Come on.
I can't fight, I can't kill someone.
Say. Come on, come on, come on.
Cause I'm in a danger zone.
Hey. Hey.
Feeling that I'm feeling.
Hey. Sing along. Come on. Mwambie mwakani tutachukua. Nyanyua hand cake for you. Everybody say. Come on. Let's go! Let's go! Safura! Let's go! Come on! Hey! Say! So! Come on! Say! Sing it! Come on! One more time! One time! Say! Come on! Tusonge karibu, tusonge karibu! 1, 2! Hey! Put him up, put him up! On the keys! We got maestro keys! Now listen to this one, let's go, come on! Let's go! Party people, make some noise! Woo! Let's go! Hey! Hey! Everybody wave side to side. Watu wangu wa Liverpool, let me see your hands up. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Come on. Come on. Say it. This one goes out to Liverpool. Come on. Come on. Say it. Listen to the music right now. Let the music talk right now. So if you're feeling the vibe, let me see you wave. Wave, 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 wave. Come on, come on. Say it. One time. Put up. Real Madrid. Put up. Put up. 1, 2. Now this one goes out to my Liverpool fans, eh? Hey. Say what? Ladies and gentlemen, it's your time to party. Come on. Say. Put him up, put him up, put him up. Come on. Come on. Put him up. Everybody put your hands in the air right now.
And I've been living fast life, but
one hand in the air if you're feeling the vibe tonight. Come on, I feel the vibe. Let me see your hands up. Whether you're Liverpool or Real Madrid. Let me see your hands up.
Oh no, I'm here stand the defender like Joseph.
Come on.
My girl say she wanna so I chatty.
I wanna see everybody singing over there.
You fall in love, please Can you see dripple? I'm not catching.
Hey.
I'm not faking peace, no fugazi. You see this face, I'm not catching.
1, 2, everybody say. Hey.
If I broke down my business, I'ma show you go right.
I put him up, say.
All I care for the night.
Hey, hey.
If I broke down my business, I'ma show you go right.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we go by the name of the lab. And we're here to party. Say. Come on. Say. Say. What's up? Hey, say. Hey. Hey. Silas. Say. Everybody make some noise for Silas. Let's go. One more time for Silas. Say. Okay.
They call me for fun, my best in. Don't give the best in.
Read the letter by the way. Beautiful lady, say. Hey. Your best. Your best. Say. I said switch. Hey. Two timers where you want. That's it. Do you remember this one? Read the law by the way. Sing along, say.
You get to see they do me.
Hey. Say.
Not the way you did me. Girl, I love the way you do me.
Silas.
I love the way you do me. Not the way you did do me. You go wonder my baby. Not the way you did do me.
In a 3, 2, 1, switch. They're now with the bad killers. Dar es Salaam. Sing along, sir. Maestro Keys. In a 3, 2, 1, sing.
Protect my energy from your bad aura. Now my past not say I be mine and everything I design. I don't receive my revenge. Flow like a river. If you get your back, I'm a boss, you know. I go just marry. I'm a magic girl. I go just stay. Follow my dreams.
I'm feeling vibes on vibes. I'm taking dynamite. I blow your candle lights. You know I'm just that type. No, them nothing kill my vibe. Them nothing kill my vibe. Them nothing kill. My eyes last red. Follow the stars. Yeah, you shall find us. It's a bad fight. If you hit your enemies try. If you're not a friend of me, enter the light. But you can never kill my vibe. Not here we don't sacrifices. Everything was taken, still had to make it.
Right, killers.
Me, I no go take
Sing it.
Right, killer. That is somebody that
your face.
From your bad brother. Now my boss gon' say I be my killer. Everything
In a 3, 2, 1, say.
Flow like a river. If you get sour, come on, pass it down. I go just para. Come on, my nigga.
Read the law by the way. Thank you, say. One more time for Bongoland. One more time for local music. Say.
First of all, girl, I like to think that you did to me, cause you make my heart fill with joy. And I can't deny how many speak of me once I come with you. Tafarani, tapani, amimu wako. Nachotamani ujue, cause it's so beautiful, girl. But nobody, baby, nobody felt like you. Nobody felt like you. I see some beautiful girls.
Sing it. I don't know.
Nobody, baby, nobody.
One more time for Liverpool. One more time for Real Madrid.
Nobody felt like you.
Say. Young Bass. Say. One more time for Heineken. Beautiful ladies, I know you love this one. More drama. Sing it, sir.
Oh my baby, your love is for you. Give me loving, no good on me. You see your body carry something I never understand. I must confess, your body very offensive. Yes, got my defense, yo. I must confess.
One more time for drama.
You're my objective. They're giving me problems.
Sing it.
My darling, would you fly with me? International, you go there with me for life. Honey, would you stay with me? I said no, man. You go there with me for life.